Well, welcome to the Redeye stream number 74, Ma Power Plants. That's right, folks. Puerto Rico, of all places, is going to privatize the island's troubled power company. Aren't they still 50% without power over there?
I think so. But I don't know, who knows? It's one of those shithole countries, you know.
Wait. Puerto Rico is one of those shithole countries? I'm pretty sure that's a U.S. territory. Sir.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, because California isn't a shithole.
I thought we were talking about Haiti. Whatever, they're all the same fucking goddamn string of islands. Fuck them.
Well, that was a wee bit racist.
But that's actually, or no, Puerto Rico. That's actually pretty good considering the fact that a majority are. Their government hands out massive fucking welfare checks, and it's one of those places where if you live, you can get by fairly easily on welfare. So it's probably good they do that. Start privatizing more industries.
Yeah, let's take a look at this article for a little bit. All right, Puerto Rico's governor announced Monday that he is privatizing the island's government-owned power company. It's a mismanagement, corruption, and blackouts. The surprise announcement came as nearly 30% of power customers in the U.S. territory remain in the dark, more than 4 months after Hurricane Maria. You know, I knew Maria could probably take your house and car, but leave you without power for months? Damn, Maria, that's some harsh shit.
Yeah, what a bitch. Well, let's be honest, it's just like most women.
But, I mean, decades of mismanagement. This isn't just because of one hurricane. The Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority was founded in 1979 as a public utility ran by appointees of the island's governor. It has long been criticized for political patronage, corruption, and inefficiency, charges that took on urgency in the wake of Maria.
Wow.
Yeah, its director was forced out after the utility failed to immediately call for help from its mainland counterparts after the storm, and it granted a power restoration contract to a little-known company to resend. Most recently, Electrical Power Authority, blah, 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 was blamed for the failure to distribute badly needed parts found in one of its warehouses, even as repairs went undone for lack of supplies. Lack of supplies that they had in a warehouse.
God. See, it's a shit thing about socializing things. I mean, just look at like Venezuela at the moment, how they're living off like oil subsidies that aren't even like they're like oil drilling technology is like 20 years behind that of like the US or something like that. It's fucking ridiculous. Christ all fucking mighty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. You think a private electric company would have just had the parts it needed in a warehouse and not known it? But when you let the government control something, they fuck it up just like this.
Yeah, this is pretty shit. I mean, this is like a prime example as to why socialism doesn't work. Now, I mean, there are countries there are some countries that do it right, but I mean, that is a very, very, very rare circumstance. And even then, it's not even entirely socialized. You know, there are at least some kind of private company or private entity that is involved in some way.
What do you mean doing it right? What do you mean by that?
What, like doing socialism right?
Well, doing anything like this right. Give me an example of a country doing it
right. You want to give me a minute?
Sure. Take your time. I would like to hear that.
Well, I don't even mean like just electrical company, like privatized oil or electric or anything. I'm just speaking generally of the state. Like, I mean, Social Security, I assume, would be involved as well.
Okay, you think Social Security is being done right?
I don't know much about Social Security.
Okay.
Well, I have to say, most before the immigration, the invasion of brown people, the NHS systems across Europe are great things, or were great things, you know.
Oh, fuck. Maybe I should look it up before I speak. But the rail system in the UK is actually run properly. I remember there was actually when the rail system was run by a private company, it was actually shit. It was like twice as expensive, and the railroads
Actually,
were all
it's the other way
mismanaged.
around.
No, yeah, it's private now. It was national.
Yeah, when it was run by the government, it was run better, and there were more railway lines. Now that it's been run privately,
Yep.
it's a complete another coastal clusterfuck.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. So now that it's run privately, it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Did I
That's not what you
misspeak?
said. Yeah.
Oh, is that not what I said?
What about Venezuela? They had privatized their oil output, and then that went okay for a while. Now the economy is crashing into a tailspin, but it was going okay for a little bit.
Well, but back then they weren't. They didn't have like an entire economy that was solely dependent on oil.
Yes, but Mad, also when you take over something that's already there, it's very easy to work which is what happened with the rolling stock with the railways over here. You can run your infrastructure into the ground, right? And without any investment. So you can what appears to be a good thing, but if you don't reinvest, then you can't maintain it in perpetuity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what doesn't private business reinvest more frequently than government-controlled type of systems?
Well,
Like, why is the railroad now shit when it's privately ran? Why is that?
because they run everything into the ground, because they're working off 6-year contracts. The companies they get a franchise, and the franchise expires about every 6 years, so they don't really have a great deal of interest.
Who are they franchising from?
Well, from the government. It's
Okay,
like
so
getting,
that it's still government run.
No, well, it's government. It's taxed.
Okay,
It's really
it's still a government rail program. It's just
No, but
this program is a bad government rail program.
No, but they issue the licenses, like they would if it was TV stations or something. It's like a licensing. It's a franchise.
Yeah. Okay, but it's not like a TV station in that the airwaves don't change. Okay, when somebody wants a television station like in the United States, all right, they apply for a license that allows them to broadcast at a specific frequencies with specific bandwidth.
Yeah.
All right, but what they don't what they control is the radio towers. They build the radio towers. They build the transmitters, etc. Okay, all the electronics are owned by that private company. If you're talking about a rail system and the licensing that you're talking about there, who owns the ground? Who owns those rails? If you're going to tell me,
well, actually, that makes it worse because it's actually a third party that owns those, because they also use them for things like cable companies, and they lease the land. They put cables up the side.
Okay, but who's? You said lease the land. Who's the owner?
Well, it still goes back. Yeah, it's government. But,
okay, so it's
but it's not that they're running it in any way. They're just providing, like I said, you were saying, like, I was giving you an equivalence of, they don't run it. They don't have any management. No, MC, let me finish. They don't have any management. They don't have any oversight. All that happens is those companies bid for the ability to run trains over those tracks, for a period of X number of years. That's what happens. They bid for it and they get the bid. And that's it. That's as far as the government's involvement comes in.
And who maintains those tracks? Who builds those tracks?
No, that's also a separate company. That's another private company which does that.
But it's once again, it still comes down to how the government decides they want those tracks managed. It's not you can't say that this is privately owned, because it's not privately owned. Those tracks aren't privately owned. They're not privately maintained.
Oh, that's nonsense. I mean, look at how much land that all kinds of businesses lease off, off other people and things like that. It's, leasing or whatever. It's the same bloody thing.
Within the United States,
I think you're splitting a cunt hair here.
I'm not splitting cunt hairs. I'm putting a definition of who owns what. Whose responsibilities are what?
Exactly. But you're saying that they're running it. The government isn't running it. It doesn't have a single manager.
The government's deciding what's acceptable. What do you mean they're not running it?
They're not. They're doing a bid contract.
They are.
No, hang on.
They're choosing they're choosing the company that can run the operation based on the amount that they're willing to bid for for that franchise for so many years. That's it. The government doesn't have anybody on the ground. They don't involve themselves in any of the operational aspects of it.
Yeah, but they're subsidizing the rail company by giving these contracts to the lowest bidder. I mean,
it's the highest bidder. That's the point. No, they're not. No, they give the franchises to the highest bidder, not the lowest bidder. It's not a low bid contract. This is companies who want to make, and so the government wants as much money as they can get out of these companies in order to, that they can run the franchise. That's it.
The companies want as much money they can get out of these companies. All right, for the least amount of work that they can do. It's like renting an apartment. They're like frickin' slumlords.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I agree with that. Which is why the railway service is a piece of shit. It's more expensive for me to travel from Leeds to London on the train than it is for me to get a plane from Leeds Bradford Airport over to Amsterdam.
Well, yeah, and it's like here in the United States, we subsidize Amtrak. Amtrak would never be in the black if it wasn't for the government subsidies to keep Amtrak afloat. Amtrak is garbage, and it's ran by the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I was just drawing a comparison between Amtrak and the in London. Don't you think there is a correlation between the two? Because Amtrak is technically a private company, but it's mainly subsidized and funded by the federal government.
Yeah, well, yeah, we do have a thing called the Passenger Transport Executive, and they subsidize an awful lot of public transport because they're trying to get people out of cars and into, environmental things, get them on buses or trains instead. So you do have a lot of subsidies that go on within the public transport. So, I mean, but again, that's just money. It's not actual involvement in any operations. Oddly enough, I was working for a company called Northwest Trains a few years ago, and they worked out that it was cheaper for them not to run a particular rail service because they didn't have enough drivers. So what they did was they said, well, fine, well, we won't run those. We'll get fines from the government for lack of service, but we'll put on a bus service, as a replacement. So they had a replacement bus service, which was slower and didn't provide any facilities. And they actually ended up making more money because of the passenger transport executive subsidizing the bus services. Because the company owned both the bus and the train services. It's fucking nuts. I mean, what do you do?
Okay, well, here's a comparison. So in Lane County, we have Lane Transit District, LTD. They run the bus lines, but they run a profit. They it's like $3.50 per adult to ride the bus all day. But then you look at Lynn County over in Corvallis. They have a water tax on the city residents. That way the buses are free for everybody. The buses are older. Like, you could feel every bump on the road. The buses are shit. And it comes from a government subsidized tax instead of buying your bus ticket like in Lane County, where the buses are nice. They're building brand new, what they call the EMX, which is bus-only lanes, and it's a much better system.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. It's a catch-22 because it depends on the kind of companies that operate these things, what their intentions are. And we just seem to have had an awful lot of extremely exploitative companies. But we had the same problem when we privatized water and gas. You remember, boys, when water was privatized? And they were losing more water than they were, than was actually utilized in the homes, just through, leaks and things, because they wouldn't spend any money on pipe investment.
Well, I want to say that There was never a problem with buses or trains in Nazi Germany. Just saying.
Yeah. Even Mussolini made one train run on time.
Everything run on time. It was very, you know,
He made Italy food wheat self-sufficient too.
Yeah.
At 10 times the cost of what it would normally be to import wheat.
That's why he wanted. But that's why he wanted them to eat rice, wasn't it? He was trying to get people to convert to rice instead of pasta. That was one of the crazy ideas.
Well, he may have wanted them to convert to rice, but rice would have been even worse because the production of rice requires a lot of water.
He wasn't a smart man. He ended up fucking hung on a lamppost. So, you know.
Well, I thought they put his head on a spike and like ran down the street with him. Am I wrong? Was that somebody else, some other dictator in Italy?
I believe that was his mistress that you're talking about. I'm not sure. But he was hung and dragged through the streets.
Yeah.
Good old Mussolini.
So beware.
We miss him.
Yeah. Well,
but
beware
no,
Theresa
back
May.
to
That
the
could be
original
you.
discussion when you start talking about this kind of things. Yeah, for when you talk about efficiency within the government or what the governments can do well, okay, the problem is never what can they do well initially. For example, the U.S. postal system worked really well initially. Now it doesn't work worth a damn. Okay, this becomes the problem of government.
But you have to take into account that the budget for those sort of services have been cut due to internet and shit. And you have to remember, it's not the government; it's the politicians.
They were going down before the internet email craze took over.
That's true. There was faxes before that. Remember? And
there was some major problems because they became unionized, and then all of a sudden these people wanted to go, a mail carrier job. People were like aspiring to be mail carriers. Why? because the benefits were so high once they retired.
And you got a free AR-15 with every contract.
So you heard it here first. MC wants to get rid of all unions.
I did not say I wanted to get rid of all unions.
Shit, I'll say it.
I do want to get rid of.
So will I.
I do believe that you need to get rid of all government sector unions. That I do agree with. If there's a government sector worker, they should not be allowed to be unionized.
So you're talking about the SEIU or whatever.
Yeah, the SEIU it should not be allowed.
MC,
the NEA.
Well,
the NEA should not be allowed.
But that's kind of harsh, really, because when you think about it, right? So you're saying that anyone who works for the public sector the public sector should not be allowed to strike, and yet they can have effectively a strike imposed upon them when you go into a situation like just happened. With the
it's okay, Cabbage. It's okay, Cabbage. Around all AMC's governmental buildings, there would be nets to catch the suicidal.
Yeah, the net would be made of Democrats standing down below to try and catch them as they fell.
That'd be a mattress.
Good. I thought you were going to say razor wire for a second.
I hadn't thought about razor wire. That's interesting.
Don't give him that ears for you. Jesus.
Don't escalate the situation.
Razor wire sucks, by the way, especially when you.
Oh yeah.
When you get into it.
Yeah,
you're trying to set it up.
Challenge you to suck some razor wire on camera. I want to see that.
Now, could you imagine if the net was just a big old picture of Hillary Clinton when she was like wigging out, So you're jumping at Hillary. That'd be pretty scary.
Well, that's what probably prevents a lot of the people from actually jumping at that point.
Hey, that would be a deterrent from it. You don't want to do that.
Oh shit, boys. Bernie Sanders tweets, join me tomorrow night for the first ever national town hall on Medicare for all.
Oh, you got me.
I was so
there. See, you did 40. I thought you were going to say he killed himself, but
Oh, you thought or you hoped?
I wonder if he forgets the fact that oh shit, what's his name? The Zodiac killer. Oh, Ted Cruz whooped his fucking ass on that debate. Holy shit.
Okay, all right. Ted Cruz is not the fucking Zodiac killer. I have inside information.
He's totally the Zodiac killer.
Yeah, it was MC.
Totally. MC told me the other night. He went into voice chat on Discord. It was like, "Hey, I'm the Zodiac killer." So.
I did I?
We've all heard the recordings, MC. It's too late to deny it now.
That's right. And if you're not the Zodiac killer, you have information leading to him.
I wonder what poor MC's wife thinks if she ever listens to this about how bad we think MC is. Like,
there are reasons I have headphones on.
And a cup.
And a cup.
Oh shit. Do we want to continue with that story about Puerto Rico or move on?
Yeah, fuck Puerto Rico. Let's move on.
Well, I think the one thing that you have to remember about Puerto Rico is recently they just had a raid of the warehouses for the power companies. The federal government had to go in there and raid the warehouses because they weren't distributing the materials to actually get the job done.
Well, yeah, and the article brings that up and says that's part of the reason why they're going to privatize it for the first time since 1973 when it was created.
Have you ever read a book called The Confessions of an Economic Hitman? A guy called John Pope.
Have I ever read a book? No, I've never read a book, Cabbage.
No, I did qualify it with called.
I can believe that.
The only book that Mad Dodge has ever read is The South Will Rise Again, and he reads it daily.
Well, it's actually The South Was Right. Get it right. And it's right here on my desk.
MC, actually, I did send him a copy of the Turner Diaries. So that should put him on a watch list. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a nice bundle. The Turner Diaries, Mein Kampf, all suggested.
I gave him the full
the Anarchist
if that
book,
doesn't put him on a yeah, it was version 1 and the latest one. So if that doesn't put him on a no-fly list, I don't know what that part.
How to build a diesel petroleum bomb.
That's right.
Hey,
homemade napalm.
You know my stance.
Yeah, very easy.
You know my stance. Nukes for all. Everybody gets a nuke. You get a nuke. I get a nuke. Everybody other than 40, he lives in California. We can't trust him.
His nuke would burn anyway.
It'll just end up being used as a sex toy or something by some weird pervert in San Francisco.
Oh man, that's horrible.
How's your secession movement going anyway, 40? Have you got that off the ground yet?
California all the way. No, when Cabbage brought up the nuke, you know that scene in Armageddon where what's his name is wigging out and he's riding the nuke. He's just like, I just wanted to know how this power.
Dr. Strange.
I just wanted.
No, he's referencing
the
lunatic that's on Armageddon when he gets on the thing and it's just dun 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 dun. I wanted to ride that.
Oh yeah.
Looks like he's humping the bomb.
Yeah.
During that time.
MC, you can't tell me you wouldn't ride a nuke like it was a pony. Come on.
No, MC wouldn't do that. He's already fucking done it. Come on, this is MC.
Well, the first one he did that.
He probably read the plane the nuke was in.
I never had Q access. So.
Wasn't that originally though? The Dr. Strangelove. It was also on Dark Star, right? Yeah. Where the guy is riding the missile into the planet, trying to make it into another sun.
Yeah, it was Dr. Strangelove, and I believe the actor was Sam Perkins.
Yeah, but there was prior to that there was one called the Dark Star. That's where the first idea of a guy, yee-hawing onto on a nuke.
If you're gonna go, you might as well go woohoo.
That's true.
I'd rather jump out of the plane riding fucking Hillary Clinton and landing her.
Oh my God, no, I'm sorry, but there has to be limits.
I'd like to try to land a plane on top of Hillary Clinton.
I don't know. That's not a lot of runway. You'd have to use what do you call it? Shit, now I forgot the fucking name. Bollocks. A Harrier.
And we're back to nuke them from space. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, you see,
I saw a great meme on Twitter today. And it's like Hillary, picture of Hillary, and it says, does it really make? You know, a White House is a White House, and then it shows a picture of a prison.
That's actually a pretty good meme.
Like the balls on this chick when she actually said that. What difference does it really make or whatever? Talking about the ambassador that got killed. Wow.
Well, it's the one house you'll never fucking see.
Yeah. Well, not again.
Yeah.
She did have a time though, didn't she? She had 8 years.
Yeah, but she was the president's bitch at that time.
Yeah. Now she's just a bitch.
Could you imagine Bill being in there as the first man or whatever? That would be so weird. Like, do you think Bill would be all senile and just go into the Oval Office every day and sit down?
No, I think he'll be raping frickin' Hillary's secretaries every other day.
That's it.
It'd be like
photographs.
It'd be like our King, the Queen's husband, where he just goes around insulting everybody. You know.
Prince Philip.
Yeah, he fucking cracks me up.
He's brilliant.
He walked up to a guy with a beard the other day who was from Pakistan and said, "Are you a terrorist?"
Yeah, he thought it was funny. He's brilliant. He's got some great one-liners. It's like listening to a comedy act from the 1970s.
That guy cracks me up. I hope he never dies.
It's senile Greek. Yeah.
I'm just for one, I'm really happy that they didn't give Hillary a pin and a phone. That's all I'm saying.
I don't understand that reference.
No, I don't.
That was an Obama reference. He said, "I have a pin and I have a phone, so I could do whatever I want." So, yeah, a little over your head, I guess.
Well, now we know why he lost, because he might have had a pin and a mobile phone, but President Trump's got a button and it works.
Actually, that button had to come from Obama, so unless he's tested it, he's not really sure.
Actually, it's not even a button; it's a football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call it?
Yes, it's a small little case that he can enter the code in.
This small little case where the president keeps his porn.
Yeah, I was
probably
watching.
open it and there's a bottle of scotch in it. I bet that's all there is. You open the thing. Nobody's ever asked to open it. Does anyone know what's in it?
I was watching a video and they were talking about the nuke code was actually 0000 for a while. Could you
that was a lie.
imagine?
No, that was a lie. It was nonsense.
It'd be like Spaceballs. The combination is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Exactly. Yeah. No, the thing when it was originally created, obviously, it's you have a neutral code and you put in the code, and that was the first code that was ever utilized. But it was never set for like 000. It was that's one of the urban myths.
I bet you it was 8008E5.
The code's automatically created by boobies. Oh my god, that would be so funny if Trump made that as a code. Boobies.
But it is Trump, so it's not exactly out of the realm of possibility, let's be honest.
It isn't.
So, am I the only one that thinks Michelle Obama stole the silverware when they left the White House? Or is that just horrible of me?
She didn't take it. That was her reparations.
Yes.
That wasn't theft.
Well, I do know that when the Trumps had to move in, they had to buy an all-new set, so who knows? Just saying. And plus, I know Hillary did a bunch of shit. Sorry.
Well, that's just because Trump didn't want to eat off the same fucking silverware that Obama did. He didn't. He was like, get all this shit out of here.
Was that before or after he called in the hookers to pee on the bed?
After.
Hey, we don't take the piss out of anybody's kinks here. Let's leave Trump alone. If he likes that, he likes that. And don't knock somebody you've tried it.
Shut Nigel. No.
It's not
rather
it's not hygienic.
Well, neither are Russian hookers. I mean, how hygienic are they?
Well, I don't know. They scrub up okay. Not that I know.
Oh man, we should just call up Richard Spencer. He'd tell us how Russian hookers are.
Oh god.
Yeah, but he could only tell us about the male Russian hookers.
Do you think he's gay? I mean,
Oh,
I know that's going around now.
No one is that well manicured who isn't gay.
See?
Yeah.
So that's not a problem. I mean, Rudolf Hess, he was a mincer. He used to run around in women's underwear and with
I
the
like
coke
a
addiction.
mincer.
God damn it.
Oh shit! All right. We gotta get back on track. So no more Puerto Rico. We covered Michelle Obama stealing the silverware. Oh, Stephen Hawking. Tell us about that story, voice.
Yeah, so there was this kid on a university in the UK who decided he was going to dress up as Stephen Hawking for a party, a fancy dress party. And the college decided that was, what do you call it, problematic or some shit, and they actually censored him for it. I mean, come on. It's a fancy fucking dress.
Well, did he even like go in the wheelchair and like have a little bit of drool on his chin and like go the whole 9 yards?
Well, he was probably just wearing a suit and in a wheelchair, but come on, if you were going to, I don't see the problem here. I think it's just political correctness gone fucking wrong. I mean, soon you're going to tell me you can't even, I'm a big fan of Frank Bruno. And if you're telling me I can't put on blackface and go to a party as him, that's just fucking wrong.
Dude, voice, you can't put on blackface, right? Dude.
What? When did this happen?
God damn it.
What is that where they came up with Black Irish? It was fucking Voice of One and blackface.
How do you know I might be wearing blackface right now?
God damn it.
Oh shit.
I just think that they didn't want to have to put in the extra wheelchair access. That's all.
Gosh. What other degrees could you dress up as? Where it'd be like something
when you
super
say
fucked up.
censored, what is it that you're actually?
Well, you get given a slap on the wrist and told, "Naughty, naughty boy, don't do it again."
So that's what it means to be censored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these days, of course. And then you can probably accuse them of oppression or something, and then you get yourself some, I don't know, some privilege. God knows. It's all very weird in universities these days.
Well, no, and I think, wait a minute, let's think about this. Voice of One is not allowed to do blackface. We just established that. Oppressed minority now because we won't let them be.
My God. You're the first one that has to do blackface, and I want you singing some Al Jolson. I've told you this.
Yeah,
this
Song of the South.
Your face reveal. I want the face reveal and the Song of the South. Absolutely. Actually, no, I want you to do jump down, turn around, pick a bale of cotton. Going to jump down, turn around, pick a bale of day.
That can all be arranged.
Yeah, 840.
Make it so, Make it so, Mr. 40.
No, I will. I'll bring some shoe polish with me when I go up there.
I'm saying he should want to do it with his own will. We don't want to see him taped to a chair.
Rope would be acceptable.
I got him to do it, you see?
Was that an imitation of Mad?
That's mad when he's mad.
Did somebody say Rhodes? Now I'm pissed.
Ogre said he'll give you voice. Ogre said he'd give you 40 quid if you did blackface on camera.
See, there's money in it. There's money in it, and you are a fucking hooer. So, pick up your shekels.
I'm really tempted to fucking do it now.
I'll tell you what, you do it. I'll fucking PayPal you $10, dude.
I'm $10 to break up, you cheap bastards. Come on, I could lose my entire channel here, so at least 100.
Your channel, you're on the Redeye. You're going to be contaminating my channel. I want a cut of this profit.
You
I'm
can't
not a-
contaminate this. It's toxic already, mate.
I might
Okay,
be a slut, but I'm not a cheap slut.
Damn it. Yeah, well, I'm no Donald Trump. I can't pay you to piss on my bed, can I?
That I'll do for free.
You'll piss in
Voice,
your mouth.
you
for
have
free.
to. No, seriously, voice. You have to do it and go. Do you know Dway? Come on, that'll be awesome.
They eat the poo-poo.
Yeah, I want to see you in blackface going, do you know the way? I mean, like fisheye lens thing. You know what I mean?
I'm just thinking where the hell I can get brown face paint.
No, this is some boot polish, mate. Don't go out and get some kiwi.
Yeah,
You know
dude,
how
I mean,
hard
come on.
boot polish is to get off? Fuck.
Do you have any like
Dublin,
what's
maybe
that?
fine.
What's that fudge that you put around cake? Do you have any like chocolate of that? You know, come on.
Fudge?
I'm
You
not
want
going
to
to waste good
fudge your
chocolate in my fucking
He
face.
wants you to fudge your face. What kind of pervert are you, 40? You got
Okay,
some
fine, peanut
weird
butter.
fucking fetishes.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter. He's gonna have his dog lick it off too.
So I'm an arm then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that's on the pay-per-view afterwards.
Yeah, it's a Patreon stream.
That's for those special guests.
Yeah, but you see, if I do blackface on the Redeye, it'll get your channel fucking taken down.
Yeah, but the thing is, what would happen, right, if you actually had someone who was black, who did a blackout, you know, with the white lips and everything, and did all of that, and then was accused of, and wiped off the blackface to reveal a blackface. My God. Do you think
They
the
were pretty
universe
cool.
would end? Would the universe end? It would be a paradox.
If I believed in hell, I would say we're all going to hell. But
Well,
Well, that's
You know,
where all
I
the
believe in it
people
now
are.
just so you can go.
oh my god, I'm so jealous. Andy-
voices blackface.
Andy Worski and Baked Alaska will be the moderators for a debate between Medicare and Laura Loomer. Definitely watching that at work. Holy fuck.
There you go.
It'll never happen. She'll never get there because her tires will be slashed.
Make sure you take tissues.
Ogre wants to give a super chat, Mad. Put your Streamlabs link out there. Get that 40 quid.
Blackface, so that's voices day.
Yeah.
But no, I'll throw Streamlabs out there.
Actually, it'd be quite funny if you did it with all the kids as well, like 6 little blackface kids. You know, you could do it. You
Oh,
could do it.
yeah, no.
You know, that'd be really funny.
I'm sure CSD wouldn't be showing up the day after.
No. Their towels will be slashed.
No, I think Cabbage is on this one here. You should go out into the woods, build a wee hut, then put them all in blackface and rags. You know?
There you go. And then do like different weird montages.
Welcome to my village. Here we are about to eat cat.
The cat didn't know the
Then we
way.
eat the poo-poo.
The cat knew the way.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
You need a panther in there somewhere. I don't know why it's a.
Oh fucking
See, Kyle.
Jesus H Christ.
A Nazi panther. That'd be cool.
Oh Christ. You know, one of those what was that fucking tank that I posted? It's a British tank, I think. And
In Discord.
The Challenger tank.
yeah, the chain, it's in the man-streaming memes section, but it's a tank with a bunch of giant chain whips outside. It's a British tank.
It's a mine clearing tank.
Yeah, you need one of those, you know, and like when it gets spinning, you can just whip the kids with it, you know.
Yeah, just put them in the field and eviscerate them. Yeah, vivisection live on air. Only $2.99.
Okay, I'm not the next daddy of 5, all right?
Well,
Your wife will incubate some more, don't worry.
Okay.
She's not a fucking chicken. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Cabbage?
Just done it 6 times. I mean, she may as well give up now. She's blown out to begin with. So, you know.
Oh,
Wow. Oh,
The
wow.
damage is done.
Well, I'm glad she's not watching this show.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking at that meme, 40. What did you call that tank again?
I can't remember what it's called, but it's
I think
a
it's
British
called a
tank.
Thresher. Isn't it called a
you called
Thresher
it
or something?
You
Well, it's a
called it
Challenger
something.
Um,
What?
I'm gonna look it up because now it's really fucking bugging me. It's
It was
in one of
Nigger Whipper 5000.
Oh.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Nigger
yeah.
Whipper.
No, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
They did have that, didn't they? Yeah.
God
I
damn
remember
it.
seeing that.
God fucking damn it, dude. We're so lucky that that one guy isn't fucking playing. Or isn't watching us.
Cisco?
Yeah.
Cisco. You keep calling. You said you're going to stop calling him Cisco now.
God damn.
Yeah, I probably should. It's a little rude. Although
say
I
that
do think
after he gave you
Cisco
a
is the better
PayPal.
captain.
You said he gave you a PayPal.
He never gave me a
contribution.
No,
Well, that's what you said.
no, he subscribed to me. He didn't
The
give
lie.
me any PayPal.
Oh.
Stop saying Cisco. Come on now.
Why the f-
But okay, all right. Oh yeah, they finally deciphered one of the Dead Sea Scrolls, the last one that deciphered. The
Really?
obscure parts of the Dead Sea Scrolls has been deciphered by researchers in Israel. Fragments were pieced together over a period of a year, identifying the name of the festival, making the changes between seasons.
I know what it said.
Old-
It said April Fool.
That would be so good. Just kidding.
It also revealed a second scribe corrected mistakes made by the authors. So it was written by multiple authors, it looks like.
Yeah, but Mad Dog, you know how long they've had the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? I mean, it's been a good, decade or so? It's been longer than a decade.
Longer than that,
So
I
why is
thought.
the Bible...
Yeah, I thought...
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fair old while, wasn't it? Because they were found in pots in some hole somewhere, you know, and they dug them out. But, you know, why is the Bible and all these interpretations, why has nothing changed? You know, they're not... It's not like they're incorporating them, is it?
Yeah. That's very true.
Well, I would say if you ever saw an actual copy of the original texts that were made into the Bible, I would grant you that they are nothing alike. They remember the church issued the Bible, so I'd say whatever they wanted in them is in them. So,
Yeah. That's very true.
Constantine.
I want to
actually
let
did
people
read
know
religion, so.
one of the greatest things you can have for rolling paper, all you need is, you know, like a soft sweet, there's gum, and the Gideon Bible is perfect for rolling paper.
You know what's funny is that I actually have thought of that before.
It works. Trust me. I smoked most of Genesis going around America.
it's also good if you run out of hankies, you know, for your late night wanderings.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
you guys are on one tonight.
They left me a Bible. I wanted to leave them something as well.
Well, I left them dibs. You know, those roaches.
Oh, it's called a Sherman crab tank. That's the name
Well,
of it.
Sherman, yeah, but that's American, so that can't be a British one. That must be American interpretation of the British tank.
Well, it is the Nigger Whipper.
There you go. You see.
Yeah, there we are.
And Sherman, he was a nasty man.
There you go, Mad. If only the South had them years ago, you'd have won.
Oh, okay. First off, fuck you. Second, fuck Sherman. For the hell of it, Grant can suck my rebel dick. God damn it. Fucking hate Sherman and Sheridan, too.
Mhm.
Sheridan was a fucking putz. And I'm
was
goading
that?
him, see here. He's still muted, though.
God damn it.
MC's been pussy whipped. He doesn't need the tank.
Oof.
But no, yeah, that would have to be an American tank. They don't fucking name shit after Sherman over in the UK.
Nope. Well, we have the Challenger.
The gay ass cabbage tank or something.
Fuck you very much.
God damn it.
We built a tank over here, but just like the DeLorean, it lasted about 5 minutes and then rusted.
Well, actually, wasn't that built in Ireland? The DeLorean.
Yeah, it was actually created and designed here.
An Irish fucking car, and it was worthless.
Well, it wasn't worthless; it just didn't work.
Okay, so it made great. It was basically a sculpture.
It's a great conversation piece when you have it in your garage. just don't take it out of your garage.
It looks pretty. You can't do shit with it.
Didn't you assholes name a fucking battleship like Ship Face or some bullshit?
No, it's called Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah. Yeah. A fucking British, what was it, like a science vessel of some kind? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a vessel down in the south, the Antarctic. Yeah.
Jesus
Antarctic
Christ.
Surveyor. God.
That was fucking, I remember
Well,
the
know,
day that happened. That was retarded.
That's what happens when you ask the British people, oh, what, we're gonna make the vote, according to your name. Of course we're gonna take it.
I had to name the Fanny Bosher.
The Penguin Plucker. That would have been good.
Oh god.
I'm not a penguin plucker, but I'm a penguin plucker's son. I'm only fucking penguins to look like. Oh fuck! I can't even finish that.
Like, was there any real names that were like in the poll, or was it literally like McBoatface and fucking Voice of One Blackface or whatever?
Oh no, there was loads of other ones, but that was the one that went to the top because people just took the piss. It's like, why are we naming a ship? Fuck's sake. Like all the stupid things to ask the British people to do.
Oh, hang on. There's one better than Boaty McBoatface.
What's that?
Hang on, I'm pulling it up now for you.
I bet you there's a lot of them that they wouldn't publish. There's a lot of them that have some questionable.
Well, here are the 14 odd names for Royal Navy ships. You have the this actually I think is named after an American, the HMS Beaver.
Beaver. Oh yeah, the Beaver boat.
Yeah. Then we have fucking odds. The HMS Cockcopper.
Oh my fucking god.
I'm not kidding.
That is.
Cockcopper. Oh, wait, this is a good one. The HMS Black Joke.
How do you?
It was part of the West.
Are you
African...
like subscribed to the Daily Stormer?
No, these are seriously. No, these are real. It was part of the West African Squadron.
Oh my god.
And then, oh god, Jesus Christ! Now this is from the 1658, but it was called the Happy Entrance.
Happy Entrance. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, that's awful.
Oh god, this is even better. This was during the Second World War. There was one called the HMS Pansy.
Well, it's like, do you remember the pink Spitfire that went up? There was a name, I can't remember what the fucking name it was, that they gave the pilot. But I mean, it was. Well, you wouldn't get away with it these days with the political correctness.
The last ship in the Second World War was called the HMS Spanker.
Spankathon.
Jesus Christ.
Oh god.
Have you ever seen? Has anyone read books by Ian M. Banks? A science fiction writer. It's Scottish. Okay, he's dead now, but great author. If you check him out, the spaceships are exactly named like that, like the old British ships used to be. Ridiculous names. And the spaceships have got their own minds. Like the spaceships are sentient, or whatever. So, and they name themselves.
Well,
They've all got the most ridiculous fucking names. It's
What's the name of that book,
Well,
Cabbage?
Which one?
The one you're talking about.
Oh no, it's Ian M. Banks. It's the Culture series. It's an entire series of books. Like if you watch The Player of Game, or say you read The Player of Games, or look to Windward. Just look up Ian M. Banks, and you'll find them.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's sci-fi, is it?
It is sci-fi, yeah. And all of the ships, all of the spaceships are basically named exactly like that. Like, most of them are just ridiculously, just fucking crazy.
Could you imagine though? Like, could you imagine being the enemy and being like, yeah, the freaking USS I fucked your mother just sank our ship. Like, go on, it'd be great.
No, even worse would be HMS Pansy Boy sinks I fucked your mother. Now that's when you get a psychological edge.
Oh, MC, you missed all the great boat names, and you also missed me calling Sheridan and Sherman a bunch of fucking cockfuckers who like to rape their sisters. Oh, I didn't say that. Well, I did now.
What? What? Where the fuck did it? What?
I don't.
Yeah, to agree.
I don't know. The USS I fucked your mother was pretty good.
I just want that. Okay, that like some weird self-awareness exercise or something.
Oh, shut up, Cabbage.
We just got in a reading of what it is that makes the mad the dodge.
Dude, you're gonna go visit the Nazi penguins if you keep it up.
I think we'll name the next ship after 40's creation and name it the Knicker Whipper.
Well, do you remember in the film The Battle of Britain, the Douglas Bader's dog was called Nigger?
Are you fucking
And they had
kidding
to
me?
edit it. No, they had to edit the film, take it out because it offended people.
Wow. Good stuff.
Seriously, yeah. It's a black dog, and it was just called Nigger. Like, come on, Nigger. I swear. It's true. You get an original copy of the Battle of Britain, and you'll see it.
God damn it. And it's funny because, it probably did happen. Something that or something equally funny.
Oh no, it was. No, Douglas Bader's dog was called Nigger. I mean, that's the thing. It was, it was kind of biographical. So,
God.
yeah, but nigger just meant black in those days. Like for British people, it didn't mean the same thing as it did in America.
Oh,
so, during the Battle of Britain, nobody cared about it.
Yeah, there is actually a funny thing. People in Spain do want to change the name of the color black because they do find it offensive. So they want to change it from negro to something else. I don't know what, but
well, we got Cafe Negro. We got Cafe Negro. That's a coffee shop. That's
don't
like
that.
Seattle or whatever. Yeah. Can you imagine all the hoardings that are going to have to change? I mean, just consider the stationery costs alone. Prohibitive.
Okay, since we were talking about war names, I found a list of the 25 least inspiring military operations names.
Oh, God.
There was Operation Beastmaster, Operation Deliver, yeah, Operation Deliverance,
Wow.
which was actually a Canadian mission to Somalia. Oh God, this is a good one.
What did it deliver?
Well,
Canadians to Somalia.
Well, then we have Operation Viking Snatch.
Viking
Snatch.
Yes.
Viking Pussy.
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, I know some Scandinavian girls. I'd go for that. Hell,
Yes. Suddenly, Operation
volunteers only. You'd be
Dark
surprised
Age.
how many you've timed.
We have
Operation Viking Snatch. It's a volunteer job, gentlemen. You wouldn't have a single person who'd deny it.
Then we have
some of that Viking Snatch. I'm going for it.
Operation Alban Grove. someone watched too much The Lord of the Rings. Oh God!
What?
Operation Black Block Party.
Black Block Party.
Black
No,
Block.
Block
I remember
Party.
that.
Just
They-
Block Party.
Oh,
Oh.
Block Party. I thought you said Black Block Party. I was like, what are they trying to say?
Oh God, this is a good one. Operation Rapier Thrust.
Oh my God! I bet that.
But
And
they
who
were
named
gonna-
that? I bet you that was somebody who was definitely questionable in their sexuality.
This is actually true. I'm not joking. This is actually true. There was an operation called Jaws 5.
Jaws 5. Oh my
Hang on, is this American or British?
That's awful.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
God damn.
That was awesome.
Well, the thing was, it wasn't even on water. It was disrupting insurgent mortar attacks. So
Jesus Christ.
Farewell and adieu to you,
this
Spanish
is
mate.
one that
Farewell and adieu. You
this is
may-
one operation the Israelis did that was called Operation Rainbow.
Oh, I just
Wait,
imagine that a bunch of pansies
that when they
running across the
invaded San
field in
Francisco?
tutus.
Huh?
Invasion of San Francisco, right?
Yeah. Then you have Operation Thundercat.
Thundercat.
Oh my God.
Thundercat, rock go.
Oh, that cartoon was great. You don't remember Thundercats? What the fuck's wrong
Yeah.
with you?
Operation Safe Neighborhood, which I don't think is right.
Oh, that was
That
in
is
Compton.
lame.
That was in
Operation-
Compton.
Yeah.
That name was definitely made up by somebody in slacks.
Operation Punisher 3.
Punisher 3?
Yeah, I don't have a good joke for that one. Damn it.
Wow.
Operation Woodshed.
Again,
That's at
kind
your
of,
house.
yeah, kind of losing the momentum here.
Operation Beaver Cage.
Beaver cage.
See,
Okay.
once again, that is a way to get volunteers.
That's a secondary operation from Viking Snatch, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. That's the second wave. If you don't get the Viking, you get the beaver.
Well, continuing on, you also had Operation Mustang Blacks. As in, oh God, no, this can't be real.
Black horses.
This is number
Black
one.
horses. Well, you might get some. Maybe that's a female thing.
Are you ready for this? And this is number one on the list. Operation Grizzly Forced Entry.
What?
Grizzly what?
Grizzly Forced Entry.
Oh, that's fucking awful.
A grizzly forced entry.
That's gotta be Alaskan. That's gotta be like an Alaskan.
Oh God, that's fucking just atrocious.
Oh, fuck.
How not to name your operation.
The Grizzly Forced Entry goes along with the Viking Snatch. Rape and pillage.
Yeah, but you've got the beaver
Rape
one in
pill-
between.
Rape, pillage, and toss them to the frickin' beavers.
I'm assuming they were all American ones because the British ones would have been,
No,
like
some of them were American.
Operation Earl Grey or something.
No, most of them were American, but some of them were Israeli and some other European country.
Yes, yeah. See, the Europeans, you can't trust them. This is why we need to get away.
This is why they need the empire back.
Deviants, absolutely. Reform the Commonwealth.
Didn't we have that discussion last night, Cabbage?
Yes, raise the phoenix. We did indeed, and you lost.
Ooh, like you were rematch coming.
Lives in his fantasy land.
No, just reality statistics and the like.
Well, I still stand by my statement that the Queen eats children.
She does, which is why you could live the life of Riley if you came over here and just forfeited a couple.
great request. That was awesome.
Oh, God. Do you need me to send you a lighter, Cabbage?
They know what I'm talking about.
Oh, God.
No, I just need to refill it.
Oh, butane lighter. Yummy. This is the best. Oh, gosh. Oh, did you hear that ICE is actually deporting high-profile, like, illegal immigrant activists? Did you guys hear about that?
No.
Really? What a surprise!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't deport me. What do you mean I'm going on a bus?
You know,
Yeah. And when you get off, by the way, could you take a shower?
you know this sign that says F Trump, we don't need to worry about Trump, F Trump. What do you mean I'm being freaking deported?
You know, can I just say that it's a bit strange that today's news is about people actually, you know, just doing their jobs.
Yeah.
No one else thinks that's strange.
Well, no, trust me. When Brexit happens, you'll understand.
Yeah.
If it happens.
We've been fucking with it. I tell you what, you know, one of the biggest embarrassments I have to say for our country, you know, when Trump, you know, got the election and things like that, May went over there and invited him on a state visit, and it is our absolute fucking disgrace that we still haven't had, you know, hosted him as, you know, we were meant to be the first country, and we shit on our own shoes. It was disgraceful. It went for the populist thing.
That was mostly
Populist
down to
bullshit.
it was mostly down to that fucking Sam nigger Sadiq Khan. We need to get him out of
Exactly, and
office.
yeah, fuck him,
Yeah.
and he'll be the first up against the wall when, you know, the revolution comes.
Fucking right, when Brexit happens, I'll be out with me fucking. I'll be out with my fucking mortar squad. There'll be no immigrants here.
Damn right.
Gosh, that was really fucking. I have to admit, that was shitty. That people were literally threatening to arrest Trump if he set foot on British soil. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, moaning about him. Oh,
Yeah.
Americans voted for their own president, and they're going to moan about it, and they're going to, you know, demonstrate.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think you're going to achieve? You're not going to change the fucking, you know, the election in America, you dickhead. You know, get back to work. Fuck off.
Attempt to arrest President Trump and see how the U.S. public reacts.
Yeah.
Dude,
No,
even liberals would be up in
Yeah,
arms.
yeah. The next day I'll just read London nuked.
Yeah.
After failed attempt to arrest Trump.
Yeah, we'll have about 3 years of, you know, like old English movies and things being played on the TV, you know, just to remember what was, you know. You're watching Sherlock Holmes for the next 6 months.
Oh God.
I've got that on DVD.
In memoriam.
God.
You know, I think Trump should, you know, not only.
I don't think Trump should do anything. I think he should just turn up one day without even
I
letting
was fucking
anyone
talking.
know.
You cunt. You know,
I
Trump
didn't
just
know.
show up. What?
Sorry.
Fucking knew you all just listen to yourself, but you know, Trump should, you know, on Air Force One, get off with a big fucking fake leopard skin coke, fucking pimp cane, you know, big fucking hat, you know, just walk through fucking London as a pimp, you know, a half dozen hookers behind him, you know.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, if he just turned up for the day, like, well, I'm here. You know, are you going to diss me? Are you actually going to? I mean, what would they do if he ended up halfway across the Atlantic and they got a phone call in number 10 and said Trump's coming? What are they going to do?
Well, you know, it's funny is they do fucking nothing. Because look what happened when the Mexican president was talking shit, and then Donald Trump showed up, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, he's a good guy. I love Trump."
Yeah,
Exactly.
There'd be some.
That's what I mean. You know, call the bluff.
There'd be some fucking college students standing there going, you know, some fucking SJW going, I hate Trump, and go to move for him. And just this big fucking burly NSA agent will just grab him by the throat and pin him to the ground and beat the shit out of him. And there'd be nothing he could do about it.
Well, no,
The Secret Service does that kind of stuff, not the NSA.
Oh, but that's who I meant. Sorry, I meant the Secret Service.
Yeah, Yeah, but they're not allowed to do that over here.
Well, you
We
have
do
so
that
many
to our own
fucking
people.
alphabet groups over there, it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, but it would be MI5 doing it here on behalf of Trump. It wouldn't be. You couldn't allow the American Secret Service to do that. See, 'cause that would be a violation. We just do it to our own.
Just as well.
See, I mean, same result, but politically correct.
Meetings will continue until morale improves.
Yes, exactly. I used to have that over my desk.
Jesus Christ, between MC and fucking cabbage, I think we are actually talking to the relations of Hitler.
Fuck you. What?
Yeah, you're the first person I know who had a fucking poster of beatings will continue to moral improve. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it was meant to be satirical. Fuck's sake.
You're not related to slave owners, are you?
I used. Well.
This is what happens when people.
We're not going to talk about that, all right? One less thing.
People who have never been in the military will never understand that.
Exactly, MC. It's true.
Oh my goodness!
I tell you, I'm going to bring a soap and a sock to all of you.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not going to beat them with us. The soap will be used for
massage you with it. I don't know I don't know where your mind is, you sick bastard.
Mad Dodge, this is how you rein in your stream, right? This is.
I love you.
Well, I had walked away too. 40, you're not doing your job.
Oh, he's participating. What are you talking about?
It's open revolt on the bad stream tonight.
Not doing his job. Are you kidding me?
Voice.
Hey, it's fine. Mad Dodge.
Where?
Mad Dodge can't complain about it. He's always promoting anarchy anyway, right? I mean, he wants this is. You gotta be careful what you wish for, mate. You might get it.
Yeah, I'm asking for it, right? Hashtag me too.
Exactly, you're asking, you dirty bitch. Let me piss on your bed.
God damn it.
Are you saying you have a side job as a Russian hooker now? Is that what you're trying to say, Cabbage?
People know people. I'm not saying anything beyond that.
Oh, God.
The spiral has gotten out of control.
Yeah.
So, Voice of One, I thought you were going to put on blackface. What the fuck, man?
I've done to put blackface on with.
Peanut butter, told you.
Peanut butter makes me hard, not fucking black.
See, you're just exciting him. You don't want to do that. He gets aggressive.
Well, and I think 40 just wants to see Voice of One with peanut butter all over his face. Peanut butter.
Peanut butter jelly time.
Jesus Christ.
Hang on, this started off with privatization. How the fuck did it get to this?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, that ship sailed right.
Oh,
It's been a long and windy road, hasn't it?
the downward spiral continues.
And you know what the worst is? We
know.
haven't even hit the bottom yet.
That's true. You can always limbo lower.
Wait till we start talking about raping the dead bodies of slaves, you know?
Well, yeah, no, and we can't stop here. It's that country.
Sorry, where did raping the dead bodies of slaves come from?
Yeah, I mean that was a bolt out of the blue. That really was. You could have prepared us for that.
Hey, as I said earlier, we all have our kinks. Leave me alone.
Oh my God. Well,
Jesus
we know who won't be in Trump's White House anytime soon.
That's how you. I think that's how he pays for his internet. It's like some snuff movie or something.
Yes, I have a special section on porn.
You didn't make a
Like
deal
the
with the. You didn't have a deal going on with that German that was eating people, did you?
No.
Oh, God, yeah.
He just rented his shed out for a few days. That's all.
Yeah, but at least he advertised. You know, he wanted volunteers.
He was asking too much, the bastard. So I just dug up my own. Fuck him.
Yeah, but that was meant to be a memorial.
And this is the kind of control on a stream that Mad Dog will show for everyone.
This is what happens when you have freedom of speech. You see, this is why we can't have nice things. Actually, no, this is why we do have nice things.
Well, apparently all yours are covered in piss.
Not me. You're the one that's got the urination fucking fetish.
No, I'm the corpses. You're the piss guy.
No, I don't piss on it. No. I'm sorry. I'm the one who keeps saying it's unhygienic. Stop it. It's just bad.
Okay, all right. Let's get back to a real news story. It's kind of weird. 5 porn stars have died within a. 5 porn stars have died within a matter of 3 months. Isn't that pretty crazy?
Yeah, well, that's what happens
No,
when
really?
California passes the AIDS law.
Yeah, what would you expect? It's hardly a safe industry, is it? You know what I mean?
It's legal to spread AIDS in California, and people start dying. What a surprise!
I'm warning 40.
It'd be like saying, is 5 steel workers died. I mean, are you kidding? 5 porn stars?
Okay, first of all, it's not illegal. It's just a.
By the way, how many of them killed themselves? One of them hung themselves. That was a Canadian chick.
Open your fucking ears.
That was the Canadian chick hung herself. That's true. She did. Just a death.
You guys are very insensitive.
Boy, I wish I could.
Look, you're a liberal, right?
When it was fresh.
Oh my God. I was laughing at the fact that he just kept talking.
Well, I just want to know. Is it bad that every time I see a porn star died, I Google her? No, I'm kidding.
I think
I do the same thing. Yeah, I think that's perfectly natural.
I always give the dead porn stars the one gun salute.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fucking horrible.
I think it's obligatory. Isn't that in the Constitution?
But no, you're right. Though the Canadian bitch hung herself. The latest bitch died of an overdose. I think some pain pills in rehab of all places.
There you go. So why is that any different than Marilyn Monroe or someone? Look.
Did I say
these are not? Look, these are not stable people, right? They've all got issues with their lives and stuff. They're not doing the job because, they had many other options, are they? It's not like, you get some astrophysicist who suddenly decides that they're going to auto-asphyxiate themselves on camera or something. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, that's called a snuff film.
That's what I'm saying. See?
Yeah, I'm just figuring it out. 40 gives a girl AIDS. MC beats them until the moral improves. Cabbage kills them, and then I rape them.
Wow. Well, I'm glad I'm not on the list. I'm sipping one out, guys.
I would just like to say I am in no way signing that agreement. That was presented under bad faith.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not
There
saying I
is a
won't
moderator
participate.
somewhere in this stream.
Suddenly, I'm happy YouTube fired me. I appreciate that.
I don't think your sub count was the reason they fired you. I think the Redeye might have been the reason.
God damn it.
Well, it's not my fault you guys come on here and spew your racist garbage. Do you know the way?
Did you or did you not come back with a story on, isn't it interesting that porn stars are killing people?
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
I did. That's right.
You
I
brought
steered
up
this
porn
conversation.
stars. Yeah.
Where the hell did you think
So
this
you see,
frickin'
you're steering it. You're like you're like the captain of the Titanic, but instead of like you see the fucking iceberg, and then you actually direct the fucking boat into it. You do it all the time.
I think we can push the water out
Suicidal.
if we drill another hole in the bottom of the hole.
Maybe if we can just breach one more chamber, we'll go down.
Jesus Christ.
Well, let's be honest. What the captain should have done was fucking seal off all the lower decks and kill the fucking poor people and then they survived. But no.
Yeah.
Well, you could have used the poor people as flotation devices.
You know, what he should have done is after he hit the frickin' iceberg is he should have just steered right back to the iceberg, told everybody to get on the iceberg and wait.
That would have made sense, absolutely. I've always wondered about that.
Yeah, so instead of freezing in the water, they're freezing the iceberg.
Believe it or not, you're a
Yeah.
lot less cold on that frickin' iceberg than you are frickin' in the water next to it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
but unfortunately, if one person slips at the top, everybody's off the fucking thing.
Yes, but think of it. You know, it would have made a fantastic little martini. You know, if you want to make. If you need,
Margaritas.
yeah.
So what you're saying, voice, is that you would have climbed to the top and just started kicking down.
Well,
you look like you'd be good for a meal.
Well, and I just want to point out.
Well, I think that was the point about killing.
I just want to point out.
So
I
then
think
you got food
MC.
supply.
I think MC is in league with the Penguins. He wants us all to go hang out on icebergs. That sounds like a Penguin plot.
Yeah, well, that's not. No, it can't possibly be, you ignorant prick, because it was in the north, and there are no penguins in the Arctic. Penguins only exist in the Antarctic.
We're just trying to get you used to the weather. It's part of the weather.
Imagine if penguins and polar bears have never met.
They probably did, which is why you don't see any penguins in the north.
Yeah, now that makes sense.
You see, ethno-states do work.
Maybe that's why penguins turned into puffins.
God damn it.
Okay, Mad Dogs, what's the next story you want to give to us?
Shoot the poof.
I don't know. You guys went pretty well with the porn star story.
I'm sure you got a stripper story or two running around there somewhere, right?
we can come up with something.
Yeah, but it's a personal one. It is. He doesn't actually want to indict himself.
All right, 40 ounce. Do you have any stories? There's a couple other stories that we haven't covered in Discord, I think.
Oh yeah, it was well, we don't need to cover this stupid which one was it? Oh, it was this one from the Telegraph. Let me just bring it up.
Why is it always the British papers? Christ, it's like the Guardian or the Telegraph. It's always British.
We do that
Or
for
the
you in
Daily Mail.
voice.
Whatever.
Why don't you bring us something from the Boston Globe or the New York Times or
Well,
something? Why is it the
like,
bloody British press?
Because we're trying to talk about real news and not fake news would be number one.
Okay.
Well,
Here's
trust
the real
me, ours
news.
is no different.
A guy in Brazil lived in a sand castle for 22 years.
What?
Yes, the man who lived in Sandcastle on Brazil Beach for 22 years.
Did he have a tiny mustache just below his nose?
No, he's actually
And a
black.
monocle. Oh. Well, yeah, but was he really black? Or was he a gollywog? Oh, you're not allowed to say gollywog anymore.
The hell's a
Then there was
gollywog? I've
the-
never heard of that term.
Yeah.
You don't know what a gollywog is?
No.
Tell him, boys.
It's the British word for nigger.
A gollywog.
It used to be a gollywog. It was Robinson's Jam used to have it as its logo.
Yeah, I remember that.
God, that's like the whole meme about you guys calling guns Rudy Tooty point and shooties. Like that's
we never called. Nobody ever called them that over here. That was what you thought that we might have thought that we call them if we were American. We never called anything remotely close to that.
Yeah, you wouldn't come up with terms like Yankee Doodle Dandy, things like that.
Yeah, Yankee Doodle, yeah. That song, yeah, but that was to take the piss out of the dandies.
Oh God!
You know the Yankees.
But the great thing is you adopted it as your own, which makes it.
Of course.
Brilliant. There you go. It was just good. You take the word back.
That's what Americans tend to do.
Well, that's what the gay Americans did back then. Oh, we have such.
That's what all Americans did.
Those dandies. Well, the San Franciscans, anyway.
Dude, there was that gathering in Greece. I forgot about that.
What's this?
Oh, you talking about Davos?
Yeah, I heard about it on poll, but I never looked into it. So there was a rally in Greece. Are they still killing each other in like Macedonia or some shit? I don't fucking know. Jesus Christ.
Oh, what?
Well, and that is why, as president, I will take a tough stand against the Macedonians. They need to stop.
Yeah, look, they'll grab some elephants and they'll fuck you up.
The Macedonians are going to grab elephants. They're going to import them from somewhere?
My God,
Yeah, you're gonna
the
bring
reference is pretty clear.
You're gonna bring the Carthaginians over.
Who was the Macedonian? Alexander.
That was Alexander. Alexander did not.
Yeah, he was the king of Macedon.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't get it.
Are you talking about the elephants he got from India, or like?
Yes, but he went across the Alps. You see, with the.
That was Hannibal.
That was fuck.
Alexander the Great took elephants all the way, across as well, over into India.
No.
Yes, he did. Alexander the Great. He did.
He did not.
He did. He had trails. He was actually building trails across. It's part of the Spice Trail.
Well, I hate to tell you this, guys, but it was probably.
I don't know what elephant spice is, but anyway.
There is more than one elephant in the world.
There is such a thing called elephant spice.
There are more than one type of elephant in the world, yes.
So
And
Yes, there are. There are Indian, yes. Yes.
So both of them might have done it. So there you go. I've solved your fate.
But
he did not travel
He did.
across
He went-
the Alps
he went-
with elephants. I'm
That was
sorry.
Yeah.
He went over across and he went through the Mongol Empire and went up into Tibet.
He did not even make it even close to
Alexander did get close to Tibet. He did.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Oh, God, he lost most of his troops in the Thar Desert before he even got to the Himalayas, dude.
No, he got to Tibet.
No, he didn't.
Well, then, I tell you what, Rudyard Kipling owes me £15.
God damn it.
He lied to me.
I just want to go on the
Fucking lied
record
to
here.
me.
I just want to go on the record. The Spice Girls are the worst thing that British people have ever brought to the world.
I agree.
Just saying.
Oh, no, we've done worse things than that, trust me. The Spice Girls are on the muffin. God.
What else have we done that's bad? Come on.
Teletubbies.
Yeah, there you go.
No, there's a reason for them. Don't ask. Just move on.
Yeah, don't ask, don't tell. Yeah, right.
That's how we brainwashed you Yanks to, believe in the Empire again. When everybody reaches a certain age who watched Teletubbies as a kid, there'll be a magic word sent out across a broadcast, and they'll all their houses.
It's like Halloween.
Union
It's like
Jackson
Halloween 3. It's Halloween 3.
Yeah, I think you'd better be scared because you have no idea what they were putting in the Barney ones.
Oh yeah, Barney too. No, that's a freaky one.
Yeah,
No,
that
but the
was the ones
Teletubbies are
with
weirder.
the
No, actually,
wasn't
no, boys. The weirdest one is the fucking boo bars. Explain that to me. Holy
No,
shit.
the weirdest one was what do you call those fucking mice on the moon? The clangers.
Oh, the clangers. The clangers were brilliant. They were cool. The clangers were even in Doctor Who.
Were they?
Yeah. There was an episode of Doctor Who with the clangers in it.
Holy fuck.
And these guys have no idea what we're talking about. And he's still laughing.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I have no idea
Mice in
what
the
the
moon.
clangers are.
I'm just coming back with pictures of what mice in the moon look like.
Oh, look,
They were
look at the
metal.
clangers. Honestly, look
There were
at the
metal
clangers.
mice in the moon.
It was
Metal
a TV
mice.
show. Yeah, it was a
They were
TV
metal.
show.
As in steel. There were metal mice in the moon.
All we had was Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, but he was Mexican.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Mighty Mouse.
So he doesn't count. He's an
Actually-
immigrant.
Oh, yeah.
Mighty
but
Mouse.
voice.
Mighty Mouse was not an immigrant. That was
Just
Speedy.
like Speedy.
That was
Yeah,
Speedy
well-
Gonzalez.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way. Mighty Mouse wasn't exactly white, was he? He was very dark skinned. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He probably,
Well,
What is wrong with you people?
oh, we're having fun, mate. At your,
At your
at your
expense,
behest. No, at behest, not expense. I was trying to avoid that term.
Yeah, well, let's be honest, Maud. You do not get a stream with 5 people watching without us.
That's right. we need Mighty Mouse and the Clingers, whatever the fuck that
The
is.
clangers. It's brilliant with a soup
Stormtrooper
dragon.
Lives Matter.
Okay, what was the story you put in here? City
Hmm?
bans new refugees.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was reading about the protests in Greece about Macedon, but yeah, German city bans new refugees as anti-migrant mood increases. And I think I just think it's funny that it's in East Germany of all places.
Well, no, it would be East Germany because East Germany has experienced what it really means to be under oppression and social justice. Total. You know. And
My
so,
problem here-
most likely, most of Eastern Europe, like Poland and stuff, they're the ones who don't want the fucking migrants. They want to maintain some kind of
My
national.
problem here is that it calls them refugees. They're not fucking refugees.
No,
They're an
exactly.
invading
They're migrants. Exactly. I hated the way they conflate migrants with refugees. These people are not escaping anything.
Jesus
They're
Christ.
not.
Build the ovens.
Build the
And if
oven.
they are,
There's-
then
Build the oven.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's the only way the fuckers would be useful when they're here.
No, but they are.
Keep the houses warm.
There is a
Then-
war in Syria.
you could use them as
Like they are leaving. They are refugees. They are leaving a war zone.
No, they're leaving.
I mean, there
the
is a war in
location. Oh
Syria.
yeah, fine. So
They're
if
leaving a shithole. They're leaving a
Look, if I-
shithole and coming to make our country shitholes. So
yes,
fuck 'em.
exactly.
Well,
Thank
the,
you.
the biggest problem is that a lot of these people aren't even from Syria. A lot of these people, if you look at like some of the
No,
boats
they're coming from like the
across-
Congo and places. No, I mean they're coming out all the way through, like Middle Africa,
Yeah, a
into
lot of
Northern
boats.
Africa, and then they're
Because
moving.
they know the way.
They do know the way. They do know the way. It's a good way. It's the way to get a free house.
Yeah, literally.
I know the way to the money.
I know the way to the white women.
Holy shit.
I know the
Wow,
way to
you
the raping.
Went there.
I know the way to the abuse.
Have we ever gotten away from it? I've been trying. It's
No.
like steering the Titanic, and the iceberg just keeps getting in the way.
I would actually hate to imagine what the 5 of us could do if we were all millionaires. The world would be one place.
Dude, I would be
It
out
would be amazing.
I'd be out in the
Dangerous.
Mediterranean with you, voice. We'd be riding around in a dinghy with AK-47s and RPGs.
Oh, fucking right on, man. Seriously. It'd be like
I'd be-
fucking
Yeah, what you mean
It'd
off
be
the
like-
northern Libyan coast?
no, it'd be like Far Cry 3. We'll just go and take over a fucking island somewhere for days.
There's not enough white people to represent the pirate community properly.
That's right.
Your voice will be representatives for you guys.
Yeah, those Somali
We're going
racists.
to have to. It'd be even better if you had to white up some black people. Just you know, so you had to-
Light up some black people. What the fuck, Cabbage?
Well, you know, traditionally pirating is a white thing. You know, we wouldn't want to appropriate the culture, would we?
That's right. You have to know who.
I can white up anybody. All I have to do is skin them.
That
Everyone's
doesn't make
pink
that,
underneath.
that doesn't make them white. It
Yeah,
does
but they're
make
not
them
brown
red.
anymore.
Hey, I fucked a Malaysian girl. She was pink inside.
Oh my god, this stream is getting taken down so
What
fast.
the hell? Where did that come from?
That came right from me.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh shit, this is live, isn't it? Damn it.
Oh, shit, this is live. Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh well, fuck it.
Well,
It's
if
true.
YouTube didn't fire me before, I would have definitely got an email now.
I fucking swear to God, at the rate shit
it's
goes,
true, what's
FBI is
wrong
going to
with
be
that?
knocking on my door.
I just have to say this. The Redeye does not endorse the voices or comments made by the people who are on this stream.
That's right, yeah. We don't endorse, but I do give a free speech platform for even the likes of Cabbage. Even he gets to talk.
Fuck you. Why do I need a special exemption? It's like special ed. Yeah.
Well, be honest, you
Well-
did take the short bus to school.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not saying you ride on the short bus, but you might be the driver.
I have to admit, I've been playing with magnets.
Remember we were talking about digging a little deeper here?
No, I still think we can go lower. Come on, people. Let's aim for the bottom. Come on.
That's true. We're close to bedrock. Might as well fucking shoot for it.
We've
Limbo
already been
competition.
using freaking dynamite to dig down. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh yeah, yes. That's when we stop using shovels and start using augers, isn't it? Oh god.
Yeah, but have you noticed, boys? Right? You see, they lay us up, and then you know we provide the actual explosion, but then they say, "Well, we didn't do nothing. We did nothing." Right?
Well, I
So you're
wouldn't-
laying up the play, and then you fucking claim that you had nothing to do with it. But you're happy
Well,
for
I
the
wanna
slam
keep
dunk, you dicks.
I just want to keep digging until we figure out if the Earth is hollow. So, I mean, we need to know this.
The whole, well, no, it's a flat hollow Earth.
Well, didn't
Apparently, it's like
you-
a pretzel or something.
Well, didn't you watch the Avengers Civil War Part
Yes,
1?
it's
That's
a
where the
waffle.
black people live.
Jesus.
That's the movie. That's not me.
Black people.
They all come from the center of the earth. That's why they're all brown.
Hey, look, Roots.
Jesus.
Look at Roots. I mean, if that isn't just a fucking bitch fest, I don't know what is.
Hey, you leave Kuta Kinte out of this, sir.
Now I'll leave your cunter any cunty thing you have out of
I do.
anything.
You're fucking Kuta Kintai or whatever the fuck.
Oh god.
Good British name, that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, Africans are responsible for everything. Apparently, they want to claim that they are the birthplace of humanity. Then they're responsible fundamentally for what humanity is, right? So I want my fucking reparations, you black bastards.
What the hell are you talking
I
about?
shouldn't have said that. That was a bit too much, wasn't it?
Yeah, you went a little over the line there.
I did. That was no respect.
Okay, first of all, Cabbage, why would you want reparations from a shithole?
Well, I don't exactly, because
No, wait a minute.
I don't know. Maybe some free
countries.
papayas or something.
They're not shithole countries?
Papayas.
No,
You want to tell me the wonderful country that the aspiring where the spires of Africa come from? I'd love to hear this.
Hold on.
South Africa's pretty cool.
No, sorry, but at the end of the day, actually, it's not. Trust me, my brother moved there. He moved there from Kenya, and it's absolutely fucking hideous. He hates it. Fucking nasty.
Oh,
The only shining spot at the moment is Kenya, and it's under attack. So it's
no,
a matter of how
he ran out of Kenya. He bailed.
Yeah, but Kenya is trying to
South Africa.
Kenya is trying to fix itself. Kenya is actually trying to fix itself finally after a long time. The rest of it, though,
long time in coming. Because I mean, my brother was there during when it was bad, and he fucked up because it wasn't fixing itself. Trust me, that's not the case. Well, I mean, if it is, I'm not quite sure how you claim it is.
Because they're trying to
definitely argue with you.
They're trying to push for things like, private ownership of land now, right? And they're trying to,
You mean like the land that they took away from the white settlers who were there, who were actually making things, and the people were living and they could eat, they had food.
People make mistakes. At least they're trying to rectify it, unlike the rest.
Oh, I'm sorry. I killed your entire family. It was a mistake. Sorry.
That's right.
Oh my!
I didn't know that wasn't the way.
I don't know about you guys, but would a shithole country do this? The Maasai tribes people donate 14 cows to the United States after 9/11. That's very generous, you guys.
Well, that was mighty nice of them.
Oh,
yeah, but that's the equivalent of like 2 goats and a sheep or something.
But it's 50% of their
that's
national
more than I got
budget.
from my dowry.
That's their GDP. Yeah, they just wiped out their GDP.
Hey, that's a mighty fine dowry where I come from. Okay, come on.
Yeah, but have you seen cows? They're walking skeletons. They probably only sent them over here to be well fed and then sent back.
No, they only sent it because they couldn't afford to feed the fucker in the first place.
Hey guys, are we getting close to bedrock?
Trust me. I
want us to continue digging, Mad Dog? Is that what you're looking for now?
Let me get the checklist. The laughing at genocide, yes.
Laughing at genocide, calling for genocide.
You're the only one doing that, God.
Yeah,
you haven't heard
that's
the
all on you.
This is not going well.
Oh God. Laughing at the thought of laughing at genocide. Check.
Actually, it's going very well.
Should I be putting my campaign on hold for evaluation? Is that what should be going on right now?
I think without memes here to settle things down, look what's happened. It's degenerated into this.
Yes.
Mandard, your chances of becoming president are about as likely as you actually getting onto an international plane. Yeah, you've got to be on the plane.
We'll find out when I go to fly to the UK, and then I sneak in and I live in Boyce's shed.
Yeah, but you'll never leave again.
Well, that was kind of scary. I think I'll go hang out with Tigerson and Cabbage instead.
Tigerson's a bit more scary. At least come over with me and we'll have a few beers, but you won't end up with anal polyps.
God damn it. All right. I don't think we have any more news stories, but we can keep bullshitting for a little bit. Deeper, I suppose.
No, I'm going to make a coffee, so I'll be back.
Yeah,
but if it's off, or when I come back, I'll no fucking way.
Hey man, look, if you've given up on having any kind of ability to Well, no, you can't now anyway, can you? You can't monetize anything.
Oh, well, if I wanted to, I still have 30 days to where this could be monetized. But I said, fuck it. You know, if it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too, right?
This is not going to get monetized. No, this is already.
Well, no. Oh, yeah. We're in the little box.
This has not gone well. Yeah. We're on the naughty step.
What, Macedonia?
What about Macedonia? Did you want to talk about it? I mean,
yeah, let's what are they rioting about? Why are they trying to kill each other?
Well, they're not necessarily
religion.
No, it's one rung up the ladder. I'll have you know, sir.
It's religion. You know damn well it is.
Greece is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we spiraled so deep into a pile of shit. We might as well try and drag ourselves back up while we can have the chance. So, Greece and the Republic of Macedonia share a border. They have been locked in a name dispute with since Macedonia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991. Greeks feel deeply the use of the name Macedonia is a usurpation of their heritage and implies territorial claims on their province. Macedonia is
the ultimate social justice warriors. My God, you're taking my name.
Macedonia is represented in international organizations as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia and is seated in the United Nations under the letter T, right after Thailand. Why did they include this in the article? I don't fucking know, and I don't give a shit. Sunday's rally was staged in front of a statue of Alexander the Great, the most famous ruler from the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedonia. No public official was among the five keynote. Who got to Tibet? No public official was among the 5 keynote speakers. The best known speaker was I don't know, Georgios Sikoulos, insert Greek name here, a retired former general and chief of the Greek army staff, who is said to harbor political ambitions. Oh my. So
wait a minute, Greece has an army? That's news.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, you got to look at it because it's embarrassing. Seriously, look up, and they look so gay.
I really don't want to. I have these grand notions.
No, look at how they march. They got these big puff pants on and stuff. It's really weird.
I really don't want to. I have these grand visions of like the Greek army and like a bunch of peasants fighting off like Nazi paratroopers coming in from the north. You know, fighting off the fascist Italians coming over the hills. I don't know. I just can't imagine
have you ever seen the Vatican, the Swiss Guard?
Oh God, is it that gay?
It's like that. No, they actually have pom-poms on the end of their... No, the Greeks have the pom-pom thing, on the end of their shoes. It's very, very embarrassing.
I want you to take back that statement. The Swiss Guard is far from gay. They are fucking awesome. Fuck you, 40.
The only reason they're gay is because...
No, it was me. I said that. Don't blame that on 40.
The only thing that puts them a rung above gay is that they still have halberds and everything. They could be carrying around like P90s or something, but they still use halberds.
Yeah, no, come on. Cool part. Basically, it's a big tool. I mean, it could be holding dildos. It wouldn't matter.
I know.
Still gay.
Oh, could you imagine? Seriously, the Swiss Guard guarding the Pope with a bunch of dildos, fucking 8-inch long black fucking dildos. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It'd be like their lightsabers.
All right. Let me see. Yeah, so this is essentially just like a land claim, a land dispute. Macedonia wants to be independent from Greece, but Greece feels that traditionally Macedonia is part of Greece, even though they want to separate, essentially.
Well, it's like Scotland and, and England, or like the Scottish independence.
Yeah, this would be like a weird scenario if Scotland got their way or something.
Yeah, it's autonomy.
Yeah, they essentially want autonomy. And where was it? There was actually where was it? The rally didn't reach the magnitude of the one in 1992, which is true. However, they neglect to mention the fact that there was more than 500,000 people coming to this rally. and that includes youths, that includes Golden Dawn members, actually, and then just a wide variety of Greek patriots and nationalists and all that other stuff.
Yeah, Golden Dawn is dangerous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Going back to the days of, Greek
No, thank you,
fascism.
Cabbage. I actually want to talk about the Golden Dawn for a minute, since the article brought them up. I do think they're dangerous, and I'm okay with political rhetoric. I'm okay with shocking stories. I'm okay with whatever. But they are literally calling for nation, pretty much. I mean, they're pretty much the modern Nazi party of Greece, right?
yeah, they are actual fascists.
Yes,
Yeah.
but remember that, this is the thing that Americans don't get, is that most of Europe has, a kind of an acceptance of, fascist mentalities. Spain with Franco.
Yeah.
You had Italy, you had Greece. They were all fascist states. They turncoated and they went, on the side of fascism all the time. They are very right-wing people.
Well, and I think
Don't pretend, they're reverting back to their true colors.
yeah, well, I think it's just because like these are the instances, like in Spain, for instance, fascism kind of worked out for them. It
Not
still
really.
bad. I mean, still bad. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, relative to communism, Spain was relatively stable. And I mean, honestly, Franco was willing to hand over power to a democratic state. Like, I mean, he's still a dictator. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like that's a rare. You don't see that out of communist dictatorships all too often, do you? But
Well,
I mean,
no, you just get them completely, they just get assassinated. But
Well,
yeah,
and I think I've brought this up to you before, Cabbage. Don't you think it's the perspective of the Europeans? Which had either monarchy or some dictatorship, Rome, whatever.
yeah, I think there is a predisposition to it. Absolutely, I do. I think that's kind of like hardwired. It's like domestication of an animal. Like where the silverback is or something like that.
Yeah, no, and
I
here
think
in the
that
Americas, we have a history of thumbing our nose at the monarchy, thumbing our nose at the dictator.
Actually,
We even like
no. Actually, weirdly enough, like when the Queen goes anywhere around, around England or Ireland or Scotland, you get a few kids coming out and you get parents and things like that. When the Queen went to America, the fucking turnout was amazing.
ooh, not anymore though.
Oh.
I mean, in the past, that's true.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you could say that, but when William went over there, William and Kate, and they went fucking mental. And that's the thing, because they see it more. Americans see it more as celebrity. It's not really a monarch; it's a celebrity.
Yeah.
No, and I think
weird.
Cabbage has a point. We were like batshit crazy over Princess Di because she was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she was beautiful and she died too young. And Americans, even
but don't forget, don't forget the conspiracy theory. You got that whole. The
that's not a conspiracy theory.
Bullshit.
She got she got ran off the road in that tunnel, dude. Like I totally believe that. I think she was murdered.
Yeah.
She jumped on a big back clock and she got what she deserved.
Hey, look.
Wow, boys, you wanted to go back to digging for bedrock, huh? Like,
I'll go deeper than that. I'll say that
I'll let you have your very reasonable discussion.
Diana was warehousing a Muslim.
Yes, she was.
Well, no, that was kind of a scandal, though, right? That boyfriend she had or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, no, he was the worst kind of person that she could have had. It was the family that is the no. He bought the Harrods and everything. The family
was
line.
What was she? The princess of Wales, right?
Well, yeah, but only by marriage. She was stripped of a lot of it. But you get stripped of your titles. She was the. Yeah. Anyway, she was.
Well, after she got divorced, right?
Yeah, she was. Well, I don't know. Well, anyway, look.
She was divorced twice,
The thing was
wasn't
that who? Diana? No,
Diana was
Diana was
divorced?
bred for the. No, Diana was bred for the job. No, she came out of the Spencer, household. No, she was. No, she was designed for the job.
Hmm.
And the thing is that Charles always had his, thing for that horse face thing, that he's now married to.
Oof.
No,
weird.
royals are freaky.
Yeah.
Aristocracy. But the thing is, America pretends that it doesn't have them, but of course you do. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you call people an earl or a duke or whatever. If you've got a CEO of a massive multinational corporation or whatever, it's the equivalent of being a duke or it's the same power structure that exists. It's no different. You can title things however you want them. It doesn't make any difference to the reality.
So, do the Macedonians deserve sovereignty?
Who?
The
Why?
Macedonians.
Who are they? Where do they live?
The people north of Greece who want to be separate from Greece, but the Greeks say no.
Fuck them.
Fuck them sideways. Fuck them upside down.
Yeah.
You want to?
If they can't get it by themselves, tough fucking shit.
That's over. That was like.
Anybody else think it's been way too long since there's been a bloody good war? And I don't mean that fucking spitting contest in the Middle East. I mean a damn good fucking war.
Trenches.
Well,
and
you
all.
mean trench warfare, right? Yeah. So there's people being.
Yeah. Like World War II.
Yeah. There's not been enough trench foot in the world.
No, I think they have to decrease the population.
That's what we need.
And a good war would sort that out.
Yeah, but what? Yeah, but which people are we going to decimate?
The Middle East and Africa.
No, I just walked away.
Put cyanide into put cyanide into purple hair dye. That would solve
that's not any good
fun. Yeah, but it would solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea actually, but I just came back and it sounds like the Georgia Guidestones going on right here.
I was just
like
about
you
to
guys
say
are trying
that.
Yeah. Population control. Yeah, well, the Alistair Crowley thing,
Yeah. Oh, I'll bring it up for you, voice.
Whatever this fucking milestone bullshit is.
Oh, trust me, you'll like him quite a bit.
So basically, you guys couldn't stay away from calling for genocide.
Yeah, pretty much. We tried.
Hey, AMC, it's not genocide. It's war.
Okay.
MC,
and Mad Dodge. Hold on a second, Mad Dodge. This whole conversation began with them talking about Macedonia and how Macedonia wants to separate. How come you're not all over that? How come you're not trying to compare that to the separation movements?
Oh yeah. Because actual fact, that would be very sensible with North and South Island. Yeah, North and South Island, right? Northern and Southern Ireland and their conflict.
Well, no, let's go with the secession idea. Do you think it would be good for them to separate? Should they divide up? And on that note, should New California exist? Should there be the separation there?
Can I ask a question? Can I have these?
This has been happening with.
No, can I ask a question? Can I have these Georgia Guidestones moved over here, please? Seriously.
I don't like the ideas that they have, but do you want to read a little bit of that inscription that they actually have?
They were carved in by a Christian, which is
maintain humanity under 500 million. Definitely.
Well, it's got to be a lot of
no. First off, screw you, voice. That means you want like half of my children killed, right?
No. You see, you don't understand. Hang on, Cabbage. America has 320. We have 60 odd million. That's 400, and we still have another 100 million to go. So your children are very safe, man.
No. He can feed them to the Queen.
No, but I think we'll make up the 100 million of Asian girls in school uniforms and then kill everybody else.
Yeah, sounds good with me.
Wait, 40.
Yeah,
Cool.
okay. I'll agree with. I will agree with
40.
that as long as we have a guarantee there are no traps.
You
Yes,
cut me
yes.
real deep there, 40. Side here. And now you're jumping down the genocide route. What the hell, man?
Dude, I'm sorry. He said Asian girls in school uniforms. I can't do anything about that.
Everyone's
Fair
got
enough.
that level.
I can't. I can't argue against that, man. Come on.
See? And it's true.
California has been taken over by hentai porn.
We'll have to bring Wood over, though. He'll enjoy it.
No, he lives in one of the countries that will be disseminated, so...
So poor Wood is going to die.
I want to go Godzilla, some bitch.
You live in the wrong country, you bring it on yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to make
Koreans.
it. You don't want to make it a 500 million in one. You sure?
Yes. Let's let Wood live. Let's let him live.
No, if
Yeah,
you're
it
not
will
going
be the one. The
if
only
you're not going to
one.
stick by the first guideline, you're not going to stick by any of them. So you have to keep the one off.
Absolutely. Yes. Pragmatism.
Exactly.
See? He knows what he's talking about. That's
The
that
very
by
wood of
you
your
one.
listening, but you gotta
I
go.
vibe.
Oh, you'll
I
love
like
that.
it.
Hey, man, if you like the first,
I hope he's one of the 7 people watching. I hope he's watching. He's like writing you guys down because he's going to be Mal. He's going to take control and he's going to wipe you guys out. I get to live, so fuck off.
You think you get to live?
I hope.
MC has other plans for you.
Oregon
Yeah,
Project
well,
2030.
That's right.
That's why MC's
We
not
need a
the-
liver.
Who's a
Give
good
me
veteran
his
as
spleen.
vice president, but MC would take me out, so I can't trust him with that much power.
He couldn't take you out. I mean, it's amazing. People think that MC is some kind of like fucking, Mission Impossible person, coming out of the roof.
No, haven't you seen Pinky in the Brain?
You know.
He's Pinky.
Yeah, look, he fucks about with lasers.
There are some lasers on some of the equipment that I work with, yes.
yeah, laser sights.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What? We're gonna believe it. MC is lasering some alien.
I'm sorry,
No,
but laser
MC's
sights
the
are
one-
pussies.
No, MC's the one taking out these porn stars. I mean, that's why there's 5 dead and none.
Yeah, but why is it they all kill themselves? Nobody's actually killed them.
No, they're accidents. Don't you know how the CIA works, Cabbage?
That's right. Yeah. Come on, get up that way. They're not killing
Remember,
themselves. He's taking them out.
Yeah.
Jeff.
He is.
Down on a bullet.
You want to turn MC into Jason Bourne? You're delusional.
No, I don't think MC is Jason Bourne. I think MC is Jason Bourne's master, the one running the project.
Okay, well that makes you just even more disturbing.
No, I'm with voice. I'm with voice on
Not a
this.
good thing.
I think we're onto something. Laughing. You notice he hasn't denied a thing.
Yeah, no, he's laughing because he's actually so happy that you think that he's so important.
Yeah,
And that's why you
I
will
get
have
a-
an action tomorrow, Cabbage.
I get a
He's
thrill about.
actually a marshmallow.
Yep,
He's
I'm
a
a little toast.
marshmallow. Yeah.
I'm a puffball.
Yeah, toast a marshmallow. Mm.
Just a little
You don't know
puffball.
how much you butter his crumpet. You really don't.
You see, Cabbage, your internet problems were never the control room. It's MC pushing a button when he doesn't want you to speak.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, just think of it this way, Cabbage. At this point in time, your internet's been working for a while because you're giving me plausible deniability.
Hey, look, I didn't say I wasn't. I didn't say I wouldn't sell out.
All right. Okay. Well, no. Let's go from there. Cabbage. What is your price?
I think they established that when they said school-aged Asian girls.
Oh.
Oh, no, hang on.
Well, the
They don't have to
thing
be
is,
students.
I would say 3 of your children, but I know you've already got them portioned up for the the royal
For the
family.
queen.
You know. I'm sure they're already shrink wrapped and waiting to go.
Already.
All right. So we actually have somebody in the chat who has a real question for MC.
Really?
Melissa is in the chat. Yeah, MC, don't you love how DACA has turned into a huge cock in the ass for the Democrats?
Actually, I do, because they screwed this up big time. Because by doing it the way they did it, all right, basically they established that the Democrat Party doesn't care about U.S. citizens, that it cares more about illegal aliens, and this is going to have ramifications down ballot for this upcoming. People forget this is an election year. All right, 2018 is an election year in the United States. If you don't think that that's not going to be held against them by every freaking political pundit running against them, they're going to come back and say, "Look at what these guys did," and all of them did it. All of them. They have no excuse. It's like, okay, you voted to shut the government down. How are you going to justify that? This is every single Democrat that's running for re-election is going to be faced with this. Now, of course, in some areas like Nancy Pelosi's, Berkeley Haven, all right, she's easily going to win. But if you start talking about areas in Missouri, you start talking about South Dakota, you start talking in all these real red states, it's over for them. I honestly think at this point in time, it's very possible that in the Senate, the Republicans will pick up at least 5 seats now. That's how serious this is going to get for the Democrats. They've just basically they did 2 things that were completely ridiculous. They voted against tax cuts that people are looking at their paychecks going, "Look, I'm getting more money." You voted against me keeping more of my money, and people are seeing that in their paychecks. And then the next thing you did is you said, "Well, I'm going to shut down the American government, all right, because I want illegal aliens."
Yeah.
How much dumber can you get? Now, what surprises me about this, to be honest, is that the Republicans didn't roll. The Republicans actually made that stance and made that connection and put it out there. Because normally they just kind of go, and they just roll on over. But it outed Schumer and it outed the Democrats for the phonies that they've always been.
Well, no, and it's like every government shutdown, there's a million libertarians just grinning. Like, oh, the government shut down. Oh, we can't go to the fucking Vietnam Wall. Oh. You know what I mean? When I saw
that... Yeah, and who'll be the first people complaining when the roads don't work anymore?
No, the thing about the Vietnam Wall and the memorial and all that other stuff, that was actually even worse than you'd think. Because when that shutdown happened, Barack Obama actually took funding and made it so that these people walled that areas off, because it's just the Washington Mall is wide open. There's nothing to prevent you from walking up to the Vietnam Memorial, the Korean Memorial, or any of the rest of these. All right, he actually put barriers in place to prevent people from going to these things.
Christ, that's awful.
Well, that's the kind of shitbag he is. That's why he did it, because he knew he could, and I was surprised he didn't get targeted for that. That's one of the things in American history you don't fuck with is the Vietnam Memorial Wall.
Well, yeah, no, and the whole point, too, was he had to spend money to put up the barricades and hire security to entrance out of the memorial.
At a time period when you're saying these people are not, what do you call them, emergency workers, these, critical workers. You're saying these people are critical workers because they're putting up a wall around things to prevent people from just walking around. All right. At the same time, you're not funding, things for the military. Now, in my time in the military, several times there were government shutdowns for a variety of reasons. All right. And what happened to us was we wouldn't get paid on the time period until the shutdown was fixed. So it's not that we wouldn't get the back pay, because we always got the back pay. All right, but we wouldn't be receiving paychecks until the government shutdown actually ended.
Yeah, MC, you're saying that that's what happened then. Is that what happens now? Or are they still getting paid? Is it still the same process?
It's done. It ended this morning. Their government shutdown's already over.
Right. No, but he's talking about
we're talking about the concept.
I haven't seen anything different that it's different even today. Even though that go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Yeah. So what the issue is technically we're still getting paid because we're going to be getting our pay, but we won't see that pay during the normal time periods. It's just the payment is delayed. The actual payment's delayed. So, and I think that's still in effect. And the reason for that is the military is the largest number of workers within the federal government.
Yeah, and when I was talking to Ramon on Bold Like a Leopard's live stream last night, because we were talking about this, I made mention the fact that a lot of people are panicking over the fact that they wouldn't be getting if it were to go into beginning of next month, which I knew it wouldn't even remotely. People are like, oh, I'm not going to get my Social Security because I'm older. I'm not going to get my disability because I'm actually genuinely disabled. And people's like, I'm not going to get my veterans benefits. It's like, these are the things that the people are spewing out there that they don't have the genuine facts on. It's like, yes, you are going to get them. It will happen. It'll be retroactively paid. And everybody's like, you don't have a freaking clue what you're talking about. I say, yeah, I know exactly what I'm talking about. My father's a veteran. I've got veterans in my family. I've got veterans for friends. And when the last shutdown happened, it happened. So it didn't really do much either, but they still got their stuff basically on time. I have members in my family that are genuinely disabled. There are a few people that have to have Social Security disability income because they do not have they're really fucked up. I mean, they were born that way, but they're damn good people. We've got people that are in my family that, and I'm talking a large, my family extends across this country, and we all talk and stuff, but they still got their stuff. And the one time that it was really looking like it wasn't going to happen, the first thing that my dad said is, yeah, we'll still get it. It'll just be like a week or two late. So, keep your damn pants on. And he was right. But this is the kind of falsified information that the left is spreading to the average populace who does not know about what a government shutdown is and how it's basically the non-essential employees of the government would not be working to an extent, or if they were getting delayed pay.
Now, Zero, this is one of the questions I had last night, which is, like where it actually happens. Because when you look at an entire economy, especially if you're looking around, say, air bases or something like that, there are entire economies which are dependent on, these people getting paid.
Yeah.
And the idea that you just shut them off. And so that, the cascade effect, that would occur.
It's actually more of a domino effect in some ways.
Well, domino, cascade, it's the same fucking word. Jeez.
Well, I'm just checking.
My question is, though, why are the military considered non-essential while post office still runs and all these other government bureaucrats, they still get paid? But the first thing we cut off is the military.
Yeah, what about the abortion clinics?
It's not that the military is not considered non-essential. Okay, the difference is it comes into how each department within the executive branch runs its budgeting and what they're allowed to do when they're able to move funds from or shift funds.
What about the federally funded abortion clinics? Maddox, you must have an opinion about that.
Well,
but Planned Parenthood got their money, right?
Planned Parenthood is not part of the Department of Defense.
No, but it's federally funded.
Yeah, but it comes down to how
it's still getting subsidized.
Each department
is getting subsidized.
All right, you don't have a pool of money that then every day the top tier of the executive branch just deals out and says, okay, we'll spend a little bit here, we'll spend a little bit there, we'll spend a little bit there. All of that funding for the different departments is given specifically to those departments from Congress. Okay, so how each department runs its budget is within the auspices as has been laid out in the legislation. So in some way, in some areas, these guys have a lot more leeway to move funding around than in other departments.
Right. Okay. So it's moving money. Okay. Good. Checking.
Well, yeah, no, it's like I was working for a telemarketing company. We sold police equipment. The best time to make sales was at the end of the budget year, because if they don't use the budget, then their budget shrinks. So they'll buy whatever the fuck. They don't even care. They just need to spend the money.
Yeah, we have the same thing over here when, you know, the roads, when they're coming towards the end of the budget period, you suddenly find people putting up, you know, calming measures on roads and things like that. You end up with all of these different infrastructure, you know, shit that goes on. And yeah, just so they can use up the money, because if they don't use it, they're not going to get it next year. It doesn't mean that what they're doing is of any use whatsoever. They're just doing it because, you know, if they don't, they're not going to get the money.
Yeah, it's the same thing here in America, especially, but more often than not, it's state as opposed to federal funded. And it's the same principle that, oh, you've got X amount of dollars you have to use by the end of the year, or you don't get any more than the next. It's kind of like, well, states do run with infrastructure problems, like with streets and roads. Right now in Iowa, they are working on, well, they're working down south here on the eastern Iowa bit, and they're working on the train. They were working on the trains, Highway 22, and they're working on Highway 61 business down in a smaller town away from me, which runs through and next to Han Industries, which is second or third biggest furniture manufacturer in the world. And the way it works for our state is, well, you get X amount of dollars, but if you don't, you know, like you said, if you don't use it, you don't get it next year. It's like, well, we've already done everything. We've got all our projects caught up for our section of the state on the eastern Iowa part. We have money left over. What do we do with it? Find something to do with it. It's like, well, we have nothing to do. So what they do is they bullshit stuff. But let me finish, man. Let me finish. What they do is they bullshit and they overbuy road salt just to burn through that money to make sure they have it next year, which is fucking ridiculous. And they don't allow them. They don't allow them to save it, cabbage, which is the stupid shit. So go ahead.
That's what I mean. So that, you know, they're actually penalizing efficiency. You know, like penalizing people who are capable of doing something.
Yeah, they're penalizing people with any fucking fiscal responsibilities of what they're doing.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
And instead of taking that extra money and putting it towards the police department, which would be the biggest thing, or the hospitals, which would be the other biggest thing for paramedic services and whatnot, they fucking spend it on road salt. And I'm like, we have all this fucking road salt sitting over here on the left side here, and we need officers' vehicles to work over here and paramedics' vehicles above all things else to work over here.
Hang on, why the fuck do we have all that salt? Yeah, but why would you be able to buy salt and not invest in? I mean, if it's, you know, money to dump, surely you can dump it into anything you want, whether it's a fire service or the, you know, police service or
that part comes in. I mean, that part comes into the mayoral issue and the city council issues as opposed to the state.
It comes down to legislation. The thing is, you can't, when you talk about budgets, the thing to remember about in the United States, all budgets, all money, whether it's local, whether it's state, or whether it's federal, goes through some sort of legislative process. All right, and once money's been tagged for a certain part of the process, it would take a legislative process to then shift that money.
Just transfer the funds from one department to another or something.
Correct. The departments themselves can't necessarily do that.
And city councils can foobar that. We can have a state legislature say, hey, over here in the eastern Iowa, part, you guys are done with your stuff. You got extra money. Go ahead and put it into whatever. The city council per town can basically say, no, we're going to put it over here just in case of this. Which, honestly, we haven't had that much snow, let alone near zero cold. So we've got all the salt sitting over here doing fucking nothing because today it's like fucking spring over here.
And now all the salt is leaching into your ground, so you're not going to be able to grow anything on it anytime soon.
Do you know what the irony is? Cabbage, but do you know what the irony is? It's that hydrochloride salt bullshit that not only eats up cars, but destroys the roads we just fucking fixed.
Yeah, well, of course it does. You know, I mean,
so it's a vicious cycle.
Everyone knows that if you live in a, you live near the seaside, that your car is going to
It's
rot.
riverside technically, and it's freshwater, but it's the point
Well,
that we
yeah, but if
have
you're putting salt down on the
weird
road and you're
atmospheric
kicking it
conditions
out.
here, to where oftentimes we'll get a tornado that comes in from the south part of Iowa, and when it hits a certain bend, it'll just say "fuck this shit," either go completely to the west, or it'll say, "Oh, hi Illinois, we're gonna smack you because you're more flat land." So that's what's our problem.
No, Dave, it's not that. It's because you got more gays. Everyone knows that. It's all about the gays. Tornadoes.
It is about the gays on the city council. If you're talking about that.
Tornadoes hunt gays. We know that. It's a documented fact.
It's the gays natural predator, obviously.
It's true.
Well, and trailer parks.
Yes,
And that there's a bit of truth to that, because there are trailer parks, and not the trashy hillbilly kind, but mobile home communities where people actually have nice houses and mobile homes that are between the smaller towns like Bluegrass and Davenport and everything else. And they do get hit almost once a year, and their insurance is so fucking good, they could get flattened like Fruitland does, which is a town that's probably about 40 miles away from me. They get fucking flattened, and within a year they're all rebuilt because their insurance is so damn good. So there is a bit of truth to that statement about trailer parks, so to speak. That the tornadoes do love them and the gays.
Yeah, but it's the gays that bring them. It's the trailer parks are just collateral damage. It's the gays that the tornado is after.
Well, I'm lucky. My park happens to be in the middle of the Cascades, so there's no fucking tornadoes up here. So I'm good.
Yeah, but if you go gay, you got problem.
Oh yeah. So if I suddenly became gay, a tornado would just fall out of the sky right onto my house.
You have no idea. You see.
So how does is that your
fire, mate?
Is that your theory, Cabbage, behind Hurricane Katrina? Then
that's right.
I'm just curious.
No, New Orleans was just kind of that was a bad thing. I can't believe that it's still not even being rebuilt.
Well, only the French
was frightening.
The French.
Yeah, but again, it's French.
Only the French. Only the fucking French.
Yeah.
New Orleans, like 10 feet below sea level. Only the French would fucking build a city in a toilet bowl.
Well, only the stupid ass state government would fail. They failed to realize, oh, we could possibly have this happen, and we're not going to prepare for it, which is exactly what fucking went on.
True. Yeah, they did fail to reinforce the levees.
It may be the Butterfingers of the original settlers to put all the French Quarter and whatnot there, but it's the state's fault for saying, oh, we've got this huge possibility of, if this kind of hurricane ever comes through, which is correct me if I'm wrong, worse than an F5 tornado, and yet they didn't bother to have the dams and everything backed up and properly
maintained. The levees. Although people
the levee, thank you.
Blew up the levees, but I mean, that's massive. But the thing, what I don't get is why 5 years later they still hadn't rebuilt anything.
5,
and also
year 10.
No, 10 exactly. I mean, has anything happened ever since? But they were willing to sell off the the French Quarter and all of those beautiful, Georgian.
Well, the tourist stuff obviously got fixed first.
Exactly.
The tourist stuff, obviously, but that doesn't help anybody else out.
No, they had no interest in, all of those, people who were out in the FEMA camp, trailer parks and things, all sent off to Dallas, and all these families that got separated. They didn't give a shit.
And so it really makes you think about what their priorities are. It's like, yes, I understand from a business perspective, we've got to fix up the French Quarter to get people to come visit and get the income to try to fix everything else. But what the fuck is taking so long?
Well,
it's mind-boggling.
It should have happened. I mean, within not even within.
I would have said within 6 years. I would have said within 6. I would have said within 6 years it could have all been basically getting started to put back right. But 10 years plus later, it's still what the hell.
Well, Britain had a major portion of our country that was flooded, and it was fixed within. I mean, even the government underwrote people's housing insurance.
I'm not making light of either. I'm not making light of either situation here, Cabbage. But after the bombings of London and the Blitzkrieg in World War II, England got itself back together faster than what they've done with New Orleans here in America.
Yeah.
And while it's not exactly the same issue, one was war and one was a massively major disaster. It was the fact that you guys had better planning. You had better planning over there.
I don't know. I don't think it's about planning. I think it's about how much people really cared about it. Nobody.
Okay, well, let's get at that then, because apparently over here they didn't give a shit. And I'm like, these are people's homes. What the fuck?
Yeah, but nobody cared. They put them into a Superdome, and people were raping each other and all kinds of weird shit, and then families got.
Well, do you know what the genuine worst? You know what the worst part was? Do you know what the genuine worst part was? Is that we lost
the only people
records.
who were interested. Really? What? Because of the water?
No, we lost a lot of records for people's criminal backgrounds as well as DHS records, which, for as much as I fucking hate DHS and they need to start minding their own fucking business, especially on how people raise kids, their sole purpose down there was to help people help themselves. And when you lost all these records of this kid's, their family, these families over here, and then the fucking criminal records are gone, that was the worst of it. Buildings can be replaced. Hell, I've often told people, if you want to bitch about how fast you can or can't build something, why don't you go over talk to somebody from fucking England and you ask them about how fast they rebuilt England after World War II and it was done right quick. What are you fucking bitching about? Get to work.
Look at Germany. Germany is in terms of an economy, and they were absolutely, they blitzkrieg people and we blitzkrieged them back, and they came back better than ever.
And that's something that people could look at in a historical content and say, this was actual war. This was people trying to take over other people's lives. And look how it bounced back. And you can't even do this.
But the war isn't even an issue. It's just the fact that, if you apply the skills of the people to the needs of what needs to be done, then you can make it happen.
They were sorely lacking over here. They didn't have the same mentality as Britain or Germany.
Well, no, because they thought they could stick them into FEMA camps and put them in and give them Walmart vouchers,
which showed lazy leadership across the board on all levels, state and federal. So, next
come on, my Dodge, you must have an opinion on that.
I think you want.
I don't know. I thought Mad Dodge or MC would have come in on that.
I was waiting for MC to chime in, telling me to shut up.
What would I tell you to shut up about?
I'm just giving you shit, man. Usually you're pretty good at the militaristic type stuff and the government stuff, and I'm waiting for you to throw your 2 cents in.
Yeah, well he's the establishmentarian.
The problem with New Orleans is that it was a corrupt city. It's still a corrupt city, and that's the main reason why this stuff's not getting fixed. Think about this. One of the things that people forget about, when FEMA brought all those trucks down there, that brought all those trailers down there, right?
How many months later?
No. Then what happened? None of them were used. You know why? Because they were all condemned. They were all considered unfit for human habitation.
Well, because they've been left in storage for too long. Because they had fungus in them or something. Because they've been left in some lot somewhere.
It doesn't matter if you're going to sit up there and.
Well, no, it does matter as to how it happened. You want to know how it happened, and therefore you can avoid it happening in the future.
It happens because
of course it matters how it happened.
Well, but the problem isn't that this is malfeasance. This is not something that's happening because of lack of planning. I know that people want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving people the benefit of the doubt on this because of what happened down there. This wasn't a lack of planning. The fact that this stuff hasn't been fixed is not a lack of planning. It is intentional. There are people dragging it, just like you in Puerto Rico, where they had to actually raid a warehouse to start distributing the supplies to these power companies to get power up. Okay, it's the same crap. This is intentional. There are people who are doing this for political purposes and letting people suffer because politically it's good for them.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, and that's one reason why I'm happy I was born in Shreveport and not New Orleans. But yeah, I do think it's
It doesn't matter
keep
where
the
you were
voter
born.
base
You could have been
under.
living there at the time. Doesn't matter about the borning thing.
Right. But I mean, don't you think they keep the I don't know, they keep the political class under their thumb in like New Orleans. That's predominantly Democrat. And it's predominantly Democrat because there's a high welfare rate and the gerrymandering that keeps a district in a certain hand, right?
Look, carnivals don't happen for free.
Well, no, because they do gerrymander. So, I mean, that district will be blue forever. It will not stop being Democrat. How long how much time passes or anything, unless we change the gerrymandering
Well,
laws.
they fucking sure as hell took what LBJ said to heart then, didn't they?
I don't know. You see, I think that's a bit naive.
Yeah, I think I know what quote. I think I know what quote you're talking about, and
basically I'll have these groups of people voting Democrats for the rest, for basically forever.
Yeah,
and they took that shit to heart.
You see, the thing is, though, that people do have their own self-interest at heart. And when you have your own self-interest at heart, generally you're going to become a Republican because it'll be about, fuck you, I want to make mine.
Well, everybody,
so you are
everybody
going to
has
get
their
a backlash against that. I don't see
everybody
that
has
that's
their
an
self-interest
inevitability.
at heart, but how often is it that it's designed, or is it used to where it benefits others as well as yourself?
Well, yeah, but but the thing is with what happened in New Orleans, where they effectively just turned entire areas into. I mean, you can't even go back to your own home, right? Because they've declared it. I still don't understand why. You can't even go back and rebuild your own home, but apparently that's not the case. So, I mean, it's got nothing to do with gerrymandering. This is about
Well, I can't speak on the gerrymandering
population redistribution or something.
Yeah, I can't speak on the gerrymandering part, but what I can speak on is bouncing.
Gerrymandering is about.
I know what it is. I can't speak on it, but what I can say is, like you said, it's about self-interest. Well, everybody has that on a certain level, but it becomes to the point work for the benefit of community, which is what they needed, and it didn't work that way at all. Because when you have natural disasters, sure, if no matter what you're doing, you always have some kind of internal interest to benefit for yourself as opposed to an external interest to help others. But you realize that at some point, what I do can help other people, and while I also get a sense of satisfaction greatly for myself, it's of other people, so they can have that, and then they can also look at me, and I get even more. That's not even remotely what happened down there. It fell on their fucking faces.
Exactly. And that's what I don't understand is, right, this is an opportunity where America could have really shown itself to be the kind of, the place that it, pretends to be. The Disney World, everyone's going to have a nice little Mambi experience, right? They could have actually done something about it, and they didn't do that. So internationally, they were looked at and said, you're willing to let these people, live in these hideous environments and, they don't get anything back. So really, there was nothing that America achieved from this, but they could have turned it into, a great example of, how, Americans pull together and, rebuild themselves and things, but they didn't do that.
But it's been doing that. They've been doing that ever since the days of Bush Sr. is the shit that they've been doing since, so basically since I've been able to vote at 18 is it's what's in my best interest politically and how to screw everybody else out in the process. And that's exactly what it was for the Bush administration. I'm not saying George Bush himself. I'm saying the administration. Just as all the bullshit that happened during the Obama administration, Obama used that to his own political advantage.
No. This is the whole point. I'm not talking about the political thing. I mean, the people could have done it themselves. They could have rebuilt the whole thing. Actually shown it as a demonstration of what it means to be American. Like the stand-up individual and people rebuild their community and stuff. But that didn't happen, did it?
No.
Why?
And apathy. Because like you said, they're so used to being a blue state. It's apathy. They wanted everything handed to them and everybody fixing shit for them. And I remember working at the local Menards when this shit was going down in the wallpapering department, or the wall coverings department, sorry. And we had a lot of people from our store who were in, the armed forces, and they'd left. And then we had the National Reserve people left, and we lost like 10, 15 people in our entire store, which it doesn't sound like much, but yeah, it is. It is a lot to lose 15 people to help do this. And when they came back, they said they've never seen anything so horrific. And I said, well, how many of you actually served in combat? And one guy says, I've seen worse than this, but this was still damn messy. And I said, what is going on? They said, nobody's helping anybody. They're all too self-centered. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, well,
that was the scary truth. That was a horrific truth of...
So, okay, so you're claiming that really the community aspect in the States has, kind of died. Is that really it? The idea of the, move west, my son, and everyone, the, what was the prairie thing, the TV show, Little House on the Prairie thing was totally
Yeah.
Mm. So it's all self-interest now.
Well, it's self-serving more than anything.
Well, yeah, but it was self-interest. But understanding the fact that your self-interest actually might lie in, making somebody else, have, be able to achieve their goal, right? If you could, like mutual achievement. So, I mean, self-interest is fine if you have a community whereby you can interact with people, and what makes you money also makes them money. Right? That's how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Any last thoughts? I think we're gonna wrap it up. It's about 6 o'clock on the West Coast. I gotta figure out dinner and shit. So.
Oh, must be tough being 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any. I don't have any last thoughts. Thanks for letting me be on. It was good to talk to you again, Cabbage MC. It's been a while.
Yeah, you too, Dave. Yeah. Well, Zero. Sorry.
That was fun.
How you prefer to be.
Thanks for having us, Mad Dodge.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been the Redeye stream number 74. Good night and good.